I need that sports encyclopedia. We West Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
What are you? He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. From day one, you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
he's. Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you. Oh, God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you.
Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JB Show.
What up? We are in the building. It is Merciless Monday. I'm taking no mercy. None. So all you scared pussies in the chat, you can get out now. Tap out now if you ain't ready for this because you don't want no real talk and we need to have a real conversation. You should all leave. Go to your LGBTQ channels now. But get out of here. This ain't for you. This ain't for the weary. This ain't for the weak. If you don't want no real talk banter, then get the fuck out of here. We may not get monetized today. Oh, well, guess what? Sometimes people need to hear the real shit. So some of you, if you don't want to have a real grown folk conversation, you should just exit left, stage left now. Bounce. Bye-bye. Because I don't want to hear your pussies in the chat bitching and moaning and crying. I don't want to hear you woke, weak liberals. If you fucking want to do all that, we're going to block you. ASAP Rocky 911. So I'm just going to keep it real with you. I don't even have time to go back and forth with you pussies. If you're going to be a pussy, get the fuck out now. Right now. Bye-bye. Don't even let me make you block you, turn it into members only right away, because that's what we will do. This is a real grown folk conversation today that we need to have out here. America, society, little kids, little boys and girls. All you people need to fucking wake up today. Let me reshare this real quick because we got a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on out here today in the society. Let me just tell you. Let me address, first of all, a few people in the chat that have said some things. JB, if you're not going to address Nico's situation, then you better address it today since you're going to talk about Lacy. Please tell me what the fuck Nico transferring has to fucking do with Lacy in this situation that I'm about to discuss. Please let me know. I want to know how those two equate. God damn some of you cats, man. But anyway, we're going to dive into this thing. This show is powered by BetUS. We got a loaded lineup, by the way, other than the controversial thumbnail that everyone seems to be either A, agreeing with, or B, pissed off about. I really don't care either way. I'm going to go to sleep tonight just feeling fine. And I want to make sure that everybody out there understands that I will get my dick sucked tonight the same way as I would yesterday or tomorrow, with or without your fucking approvals. Just so we're clear. Okay? Real clear. Understand? Okay, good. Now we can move on amicably. I want to make sure that we all understand something. I've coached this game and been around this game my entire life. from the mud on up. I've done nothing but raise, mentor, and father figure a bunch of inner city black kids. Being from a black neighborhood like I am, being a rarity that I am, a chameleon that I am, I think I can actually talk about this like no one else. And I think I'm the only one that will finally address the elephants in the room that no one else will. And that's the sad part about this whole thing. See, we're going to all fucking massage this whole topic and this thumbnail as if it is going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Here's the issue. Stop being so fucking reactive, America. If y'all would get more proactive, we wouldn't be so fucking reactive on a show on YouTube or on Twitter or on Instagram. Y'all keep fucking being reactive because none of you want to be proactive and hold these youngsters accountable. Y'all just want to give, and not ask to get returns. You want nothing back in return. You don't demand anything from these youngsters. All you do is give, and expect them to do. When kids are kids, they know what they know and don't know what they don't know. Period. Point blank. 100. However you want to say it. That's the truth. Let's dive into the show, man. I want you to hear me out because I don't think you're really listening. Kyren Lacy, an LSU standout future NFL draft pick who weeks ago just ran a 40 at the combine, had a very bright future in the NFL. Well, so we thought. At the end of last year, he killed a man named Herman Hall, a 78-year-old ex-Marine, in a reckless car accident by racing and swerving in from lane to lane. That's just facts. That's what it is. And I make sure I read all the details on this before I came out here and stuck my foot in my mouth. He also wrecked his own car 2 nights ago in a police chase where police found him with a self-inflicted gunshot wound that sadly ended this young man's own life. Now, let me be clear here. The thumbnail you see, I want to be clear. Let me finish first, and I'll address all the other shit. Now, hear me out. The adults that continue to enable these kids with NIL, with the ability to transfer, allowing these youngsters to transfer 4 times in 4 years in high school, putting football or sports abilities above real life is who I blame today. All those people above that I just mentioned for putting football and athletic ability above real life is who I blame. We save these kids day in and day out by defending them when they do stupid shit. How many times has Brian Kelly defended a kid at LSU that's done something stupid? Kirby Smart at Georgia for doing something stupid. Nick Saban at Alabama, for God's sakes. How many times has JB defended his players, his babies, for doing something stupid? Only for our selfish reasons. We've defended kids for DUIs, assault and battery, fucking only to get them on the football field to perform for our own selfish reasons to win a football game. We have lost what college athletics are supposed to be about, people. College athletics were supposed to be about trials and tribulations, creating tough skin, learning discipline, how to compete, how to persevere. We're not doing that in college anymore when we hand these motherfuckers a bag of money, a $200,000 car, and tell them to go ahead, figure life out. That's not how college athletics are for 17 to 21, 22-year-olds. You're supposed to teach these kids what life's about, not go figure it out. Wonder why we have kids self-inflicted gunshot wounds that are about to be fucking drafted to the NFL. You wonder why we got kids that don't know how to drive a Prius yet who are fucking running cats off the road because they don't know how to handle 700 horsepower to the rear. The shit has gotten out of hand. And we are forgetting the fact that these are babies who don't know shit about shit. We are giving them more money than their own parents ever earned in their entire lives at 17 to 21 years old. We are giving them $100,000 cars, $200,000 cars when they can't drive, giving them the ability to make all their own choices when they don't know right from wrong yet. What are we fucking doing, people? I have the word coward in bold red letters on this thumbnail, and I'm going to address this now. You see it. Everybody's been commenting since late last night. The truth is, we are all cowards who allow this to continue to transpire. Each one of us, myself included, you guys out there, everyone out there defending this kid, everyone out there that's defending anyone else out there who's doing shit like this, we're all cowards, homie. This kid is a coward because he was taught how to be a coward with the ability to run and hide from real world problems when they arise. The real world is going to come fast at each one of us, and we need to understand how to take it on. But running isn't how it's done, but we have taught that is how it's done. We're teaching these kids to run and hide. Oh man, you can't start this year as a true freshman. Guess what? You could bounce. You could go transfer to go over to Oklahoma and try it over there. Oh, you didn't start there either? You can go to LSU next year. Oh, you didn't like there? Go to Oklahoma State next year. Oh, you don't like that? Oh, we end up at fucking D2. We have taught these kids it's okay to run and hide and receive money that is based on worth, not based on what has been earned in life. We have all failed our youth and are all cowards this morning. This kid ran from facing the consequences that he needed to face for killing a human being with his vehicle. But we have told this kid and millions others like him, it's okay to run. It's okay to hide and not face the truth. It's okay, but go somewhere else and start all over. It's okay. You can just start all over. Everything will be swept under the rug. Everything will be forgotten. Because we're so apologetic and forgiving on social media where every one of you all live nowadays and take it for the gospel. Whatever's said on Twitter is the gospel. So we will continue to see this sad shit go on until we get our youth back in control, until we teach them how to be respectable adults first, before anointing them the next greatest thing on planet Earth, before allowing them to do what they want with zero consequence, and before we allow them to run and hide from real world problems that they will face and will have to teach their own kids. See, y'all keep blaming us for raising these fucking shitbirds. But I have something to tell you. There's a fucking generation missing that you continue to refuse to dismiss. There's a generation these kids are having their own kids, and they don't even know how to be an adult themselves. And you expect them to raise their kids to be fucking good adults? You wonder why we're getting riddled in society with a bunch of fucking shitbirds? Y'all keep forgetting that part right there. We have failed them, and shame on us for all being cowards. Cowards today. But what do I know? We'll dive into it. We got a loaded show today. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. Agree or disagree, I really don't give a fuck. But Big Matt will join us this morning. He's back on the scene after handling a bunch of shit. I'll give you some Shaun King update news here in a second. Big Smitty's gone today. He'll be back tomorrow, filling in at Fox. Xavier McDaniel, the X-Man, Seattle Supersonic legend, NBA legend, will join us. Plus, knower of all NBA things, Keith Smith will join us as he breaks down the NBA playoffs today. Before we get into all this, I haven't even got to see the chat or anything yet. I want to be clear here. One of my former players who played in the NFL, a DC kid, one of my favorite kids of all time. I'm not going to say his name because you'll know who he is, obviously. But I want to be clear on what he sent me. He said regarding this Lacy situation, it's crazy how people will show you love after you killed innocent people and then kill yourself to avoid jail time. That's crazy in my book. But as my old coach JB said, what do I know? I want to be clear again what he just said. It's crazy how people will show you love after you killed innocent people and then kill yourself to avoid jail time. The fact of the matter is, everybody out here who don't think this kid is a coward and who don't think the people that raised him or people that mentored him around him or the system that has allowed him to get here are cowards, you're full of shit. You haven't looked in the mirror and faced reality yet. You haven't understood. And I feel for the father and the mother of this kid. I feel for the family for this kid. I couldn't imagine losing a 24-year-old kid, period. So this isn't about lack of parents or he had 2 parents in the household, everything I've looked at. The father wrote a tweet yesterday. Check on your kid's mental status and all this old shit. Here's the issue, man. The entire every adult in the room nowadays needs to look at each other and say, we are all cowards for allowing these kids to do what they want to do because they are kids. And remember, this kid was an older kid if we're going to really talk about in perspective. He's 24. So getting drafted at 24 is, older now, right? Unless you're a quarterback. But like at the end of the day, this is a cowardly act that was learned behavior. It was taught behavior. Like this isn't something that the kid just woke up and said, "Hey, he just ran a 40-yard at his own pro day or whatever." He had ran a 40, promising kid, promising future. The shitty part is the kid was off the rocker. He was out there. He had a police chase 2 nights ago where he ended his own life at. So listen, man, we can all talk about this and have a grown man conversation, grown women conversation, and not make it about race, not make it about JB, you're a hater. Some of you in this chat need to actually grow a pair of nuts and grow up today. Grow up today on the show. There's a bigger problem out there than this one kid performing a cowardly act. We have taught this cowardly act, and the adults need to look at it in the mirror and say, we're the cowards for allowing these kids to allow them to go out here and be off the chain. These kids are off the chain because there's no adult mentorship out here. We all are trying to get a bag off these kids. Parents, helicopter parents, not that this kid has one, but the street agent, the 7-on-7. All these cats are seeing cash cow, and they're using these kids instead of teaching them what's right and wrong. They fucking just enable them. They enable them. So the bottom line is a lot of you guys can't handle the truth, and it's okay. But let's have a real conversation real quick. Have I heard anyone talk about the 78-year-old man that was killed, Herman Hall? Have I heard any of you pussies in the chat defending this kid? Defend him? I want to know. Can I defend him? Can I defend a 78-year-old ex-Marine who served our country? Can I defend that guy? Because I haven't seen anyone defend him. I've only seen defending the kid who killed this guy. I have yet to see a motherfucker defend the 78-year-old that got killed. It's crickets in here, huh? Quiet. Fucking real quiet, dog. Huh. It's real quiet, homie. It's real quiet. Again, like my homie said, it's crazy how y'all will defend and love a motherfucker once he passes away, but refuse to understand and address the actual facts of the matter. That's what's crazy about it, dog. That's what's really crazy about it, homie. And it's unbelievable. So Jamil Ridley, who's going to defend all things left, he says the state defended him by bringing charges against Lacy. So Lacy had a court date today, by the way, had a court hearing. And I don't know, Jamel, you know how the courts work and the shit like that. But he passes away 2 days before, obviously. His court hearing was today, set for arraignment. So that gives Jamil, I guess, Jamil Hill or Jamil Ridley. I'm going to call him Jamil Hill. He gives Jamil Hill in the chat the right to defend the kid over the fact that the guy that's 78 lost his life in a reckless car accident, that this kid was racing up and down the street, and it probably is one of his cars that they've given him in this new era. And so, well, Jamil, then stop being a pussy, homie. Stop calling it what it is. Maybe one day you'll actually tell one of these young kids the truth instead of telling them fucking sweet nothings. And maybe one day you'll see one of these motherfuckers actually start to make a decision that benefits someone instead of motherfucking putting it on someone else. Like, Jamil, all you do is defend the motherfucking kid, homie, once he's passed away. Jamil, were you talking to Lacy before he fucking killed himself, homie? Let me ask you, were you out there giving proactive tweets, homie? Man, let's stop doing this beforehand, man, so we don't see this kid kill himself. Or are you just now coming out talking about a motherfucker after he died, homie, just like LeBron James tweet and everybody else? Oh, rest in peace, King. Man, when are you going to be tired of this shit, homie? When are you going to be tired of the motherfucking reactive tweets? Pussy? Because it's all pussy tweet, homie. This all you motherfuckers do. You're cowardly pussies that can't understand the difference between being proactive and reactive. Because every time there's a motherfucker gets shot in the hood, we do a reactive motherfucking tweet, homie. When I'm the motherfucker out here in the street telling these motherfuckers to stop killing each other. Are you, homie? I don't see you, Jamil. See, you motherfuckers got it all fucked up. You got it all twisted up. And that's the problem with you motherfuckers. You can't handle the truth. And it don't matter who tells the truth, homie. If it's the truth, it's the truth. Like, I don't understand. Y'all mad at me because I'm telling you the truth. Are you really mad at me or are you mad that it's the truth? That's the fucking question, homie. That's the question, homie. Exactly, Jamil. Thank you, Jamil. You proved my point. Just because you don't see it don't mean it don't happen. God damn, homie. Let's get to the quote of the day, man. Brought to you by BetUS. And regardless of conversations, because disagreements create great conversations, I got a good friend of mine who I play football with, and has got one of the best son prospects. His son's one of the best prospects in America for college football. Anyway, he's in high school. He's a Louisiana LSU guy, graduated from Southern. And he disagrees with me full-heartedly that I called the kid and all this thing a coward. He called Mia, go away then, bitch. Mia, kick rocks. Bye. Bitch, nobody's asked you to be here. You a toss-around hoe. Mia, you a toss-around hoe. Did you let the motherfucker hit or something? Like, what's cracking, Mia? Bitch, get out of here. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, here's the issue. Like, I don't understand, like, the fact that we won't address the elephants in the room, dog. Like, I just really don't. I really don't understand it. And I got my homeboys mad at me, too. But when I say, where is the defense for the 78-year-old that got killed by this kid, I hear crickets in the room. So is it the truth or not the truth? I just want to be clear. We're defending a kid that killed himself, and I give condolences to the family. I couldn't imagine it, number one. But number two, we don't address the guy that got killed, but we're addressing the guy that killed himself, who's avoiding facing the consequences. And that's what we're sitting in here talking about and debating about. Like, I'm just trying to get clear with it. So, but when I say he's the coward, I'm an asshole. I'm rude. I'm mean. I'm blah, blah, blah. See, you motherfuckers are so fucking narrow-minded, bro. It's so fucking unbelievable that you just want to do what's safe. You want to sit in this gray area space on Twitter and be the guy that don't get canceled or don't get his fucking shit mad off. That's all you want to do. That's all you can actually sit here and do. But anyway, let's get to the quote of the day, man. And this is perfect quote for this type of situation. Brought to you by BetUS Head on over there today. Tell them I sent you. Coach AB is a promo code. Learning is a gift, even when pain is the teacher. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying when it comes to this, because learning is a gift, even when pain is the teacher. I don't know how many people learned today from this situation, but I'm sure not a lot of you. A lot of you won't. You won't take the pain as being the teacher. You'll take the pain as being you'll take the pain today as being like a crutch. You're going to blame mental health. You're going to blame everyone else. You're going to blame everyone else. And it's always mental health, right? It's never mentally weak people. It's always mentally healthy, and check on that and check on this. No, you're mentally weak, because I wish I would have fucking done half the shit at the same age that I should have been able to do, right? According to you guys, I should have been able to do when I was living in a car, in the hood, living in no house, no fucking money, none of that shit. I should have been able to do all this, but I couldn't. Right? I couldn't. It's funny. And see, this is the problem. Like, these nobodies in here, y'all defending JB not taking care of his kids. Well, I only have one kid, but quick to call a kid a coward. Well, first of all, not only did I raise my own kid, I took her to college by myself as I played college football, raising an 18-month-old. So I don't know where you get your information, but that's why you're a nobody. See, a lot of you just run with certain narratives that you think you see on Netflix or some shit. You're an absolute nobody, and that's why, because nobody will ever care what you say. Nobody even knows who you are. But the bottom line is, you have no fucking clue about what I do or what I did. And that's the problem. See, you only go for what you see on Twitter. Again, you guys are all the same people. Richard T4125789, you're the same person as the last guy. What are you talking about? You know who I am, homie. You know my family. You know what I did for my own daughter? You were there? I forgot you were there. God damn it. I forgot you were there. Were you getting the fucking wick for me? Were you the one that was getting the fucking eggs and milk? I forgot you were there, homie. Anyway, it's funny. Let's get into this contrary to belief real quick. Brought to you by BetUS. Tears come from the heart, not from the brain. I want to be clear. The quote of the day, learning is a gift, even when pain is the teacher. And the contrary to belief, tears come from the heart, not from the brain. Everybody in this chat right now are crying from their heart. Let's be honest. They're crying from their heart because that's what we do. We cry from the heart. We don't really think. It doesn't get to the brain yet. And we don't understand why we're crying until after the fact. We all cry from the heart. We feel for the parents of this kid, Lacy. We feel for the old man that died from this kid's acts. And we cried from the heart. You get to think about it and let your brain actually get into it. And then your brain is what actually refuses to make those acts. We don't cry from our brain. You think about it later and you come back and say, oh, you issue an apology or you issue something. I shouldn't have did that. I regret it. Where do you think regret comes from, homie? Comes from your heart crying over your brain. Your brain wasn't ready to act yet. Your brain hadn't thought about it yet. Your brain hasn't fucking put it all together yet. The bottom line is, we cry from the heart. And a lot of you guys are crying from your heart right now because it says coward on the thumbnail. When at the end of the day, you need to be crying from your brain and talk about the truth of the matter. And stop being fucking reactive and start being proactive. And maybe you'll help somebody. Mia, why are you still here? The show's shitty, I thought. Get your bitch ass out of here. You probably going to the next show because you're a runaround hoe. You just get tossed around. How many motherfucking shows you going to be on today, Mia? Get your bitch ass out of here. We have to start blocking some of these motherfuckers. Mia, were you the one that I stuck it in her ass last night and I didn't know? Let's get rid of some of these dick riders. A lot of you dick riders in here. A lot of dick riders in here today. God. You probably have to go members only early today because all the dick riders are out because Coward brought him out. Coward saw him. But let's keep him in, Bailey. Let's keep him in. I like talking to the cunts. See you next Tuesday because tomorrow we have a great show. See you next Tuesday. But let's dive into it, man. Mia, that's what everyone says. This is fun. You a toss around hoe. No shit, it's fun. I think your initials are DP. That stands for double penetration, you fucking idiot. Let's dive into it, man. We got a lot going on. Let's get into the poll question real quick, and we'll dive right into this, Bailey. I don't know. I haven't even looked at the thing because we got all this to talk about. I've already addressed the Kyren Lacy deal. I'm sure Matt and I will get into it with it, dive into it as well. Who is at fault, Nico or the University of Tennessee? Hopefully some of you OGs and members only can actually talk and address the poll question. And let's move on because we'll get back to the Kyren Lacy deal and all this other shit. But let's get into this Nico situation. The poll question right there, who's at fault, Nico or the University of Tennessee? Now, there's a lot of different ways to take this, and this is why I consider myself a real one, and I'm not just going to go for the bait. And I've heard and seen all the comments, all right? I've seen all the comments. JB, if it was Shedeur Sanders, you would have went in on him. Well, it wasn't Shedeur Sanders, and it couldn't be Shedeur Sanders because Shedeur Sanders plays for his daddy. So you can go about it if as a fifth, and we'd all be loaded takes all you want. But that was never going to happen because he followed his daddy. So, number one, I love how you guys always equate. Oh, if it was JB would have went in, but JB knows his daddy and played with them, so he's not going to talk about it. Well, I'm always going to talk about it. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. But let's be clear. I want to know all from everybody in this chat who would actually just go out there with against one of their homeboys and talk about something that they don't know if it's true or not yet. And it's his homie. So I just want to be clear. I want to ask that question again. Since everybody's so hot at me about giving a Nico take. If I've been around this kid since he was a little boy, and his daddy is my lifelong homeboy that played with me in college, why would I jump out for clicks and likes, since that's what y'all say I'm about, and talk shit about a dude that I don't know what the truth is yet? So you're telling me, let me ruin my homeboy's relationship to jump out ahead of the game and talk shit about something I don't know about? That's what you're telling me to do. I do it all the time. So how many homeboys that I grow up with that I come out here and talk about? See, that's why y'all don't listen. See, you guys don't listen. You don't fucking understand. I just said, if any of you in this chat have a homeboy he grew up with and is in the national news and went out and blasted him, please let me know who does that. Because I don't, and I'm not going to do that. But here's the issue. But I will be real all the time, and I'm always going to keep it real. So that's what it is. This Nico situation, there's a bunch of scenarios that we could take from it. And I want to be clear here. There's no one bigger than the team, and that includes me, blah, blah, blah. Josh Hypo said it. Here's what I want to be clear with. I've seen two scenarios here. I've seen two scenarios that defends Tennessee and defends Nico. And I want to be clear, and I'm going to tell the real. And if I don't feel that Nico and his pops have done the right thing, I'll say it. Like, you act like I'm just going to have bitch in my blood all of a sudden. No, I'm going to tell you the truth. But what I did was ask you a fucking question and nobody can answer it. But here's what it is. So this is one scenario, okay? And I've talked to several folks over the past 3 days about all this shit because people are blowing me up. And I've actually talked to Nico's pops and texted them. Here's the issue. Hypo has allowed, I don't know how many kids, second, third chances. Okay. And I'm not picking on Hypo here. I'm picking on everybody from Kirby Smart to Brian Kelly to Josh Hypo to everybody. Nick Saban's done it. How many guys have we defended and helped to get them to the yard to play the game? How many guys have we helped by turning a blind eye or sweeping something under the rug? So here's one scenario. This is the final straw, though, Josh Hypo. This is the final straw. I'm throwing it out there. Is this the final straw that you're saying? Oh, he wants more money. Now I'm booting him. So that's the guy defending the kid on this one. I'm defending the player. Listen, hear me out. Devil's advocate. You do know what I just said, right? We've had coaches defend and help kids every single day to keep them on their team. But now Nico wants more money and asks for more money. And that was the line that we say, enough is enough. Let's cut him. I'm just keeping devil's advocate. I'm asking. I'm trying to play this fair as I can here in this whole situation. I'm asking you guys the serious question. Like, that is a real question. So, no, right? We've been defending guys for way worse than asking for more money to get us a win. Now, listen, he was supposed to possibly even opt out of a bowl playoff game. Let's be real here. I don't know about Josh Pate, and I don't know about all these guys that are going out on social media today, but they said, damn, we're going to see a guy opt out of a playoff game. Can anyone raise their hand and tell you and tell me who the first guy you heard say that there will be opt-outs in this 12-game playoff scenario? I'll wait. Because I know I'm the first one to say it, and everyone called me crazy. I know I was the first guy to say it, that you will see opt-outs in college football playoffs. I told you guys this years ago on this very show before Smitty joined us. So please go ahead and watch Josh Pate. You can watch whoever you want to talk about it today, but I've been saying this shit for years. Again, the more you add, the more money they want, and the more games you add, the more money they see that's getting made for these colleges, TV contracts, etc. And the kid's going to start getting smart and say, I want more money. It's not really hard. It's not a hard scenario to figure out. So that's what's happening. And now they're going to use that money for leverage to opt out of bowl games. They're going to use that money to opt out of bowl games. That leverage, they're going to use it. So Nico apparently wanted to opt out of a playoff game last year. And I want to be clear here. I want to be absolutely clear. However you want to rank Nico, as basically his last year was his real first true freshman year. I know he played in the bowl game as a true freshman after he didn't play all year. And then last year was his first year completely starting all season. We can say how mid he was or how bad he was or whatever you want to call him, all right? And he wasn't worth the money or he hadn't earned the money, whatever you want to talk about. The truth of the matter is he led a team in the SEC to the playoffs. Did he or did he not lead Tennessee to the playoffs? I'm just asking. And this is my proof. This is, again, proving my point when it comes to all your guys' self-gratification, instant gratification out there in social media. So I'm seeing bum, mid, bum. He's a bum. But if he didn't make the playoffs, what would he be? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Y'all never satisfied, homie. You'll never satisfied. And Chris, I'm going to get to you, I promise. No, he's not earned it. None of these cats have earned it. I've been saying this for how long, Chris? This is not a Nico issue. This is not a Travis Hunter, Cam Ward issue. These kids are being paid from high school $8 million to go to a college where they played at a mediocre high school level. Warren High School, by the way, is not Mater Dei or Bosco in California. They're a very average to subpar league here in Southern California. And you gave them $8 million to go to Tennessee. Chris, are you going to turn it down? Is anyone in here turning down $8 million that was given to them? I'm just asking you. I'm not. No one else is either. So let's be real. The part of the problem is the same thing I started the show with. This is cowardly. This is all coward. This is cowardly acts happening from the adults on down, and the kids are now the cowards as well because they are being taught how to be a coward. This ain't about football no more. These kids haven't earned shit. I stand on that every day. I don't care if it's my homeboy's son or not. These kids haven't earned shit. They're being paid off what you think they are worth. They're being paid off what you think they are worth. Keith, you're not very smart, fat fuck. Shut up. You're not listening then. So let me give you some truth, Jamil Ridley. All you guys know so many facts. It's crazy right now. So many facts. You know so much. You started missing practice and blah, blah, blah. No, he was at the quarterback. They have a year in, year out quarterback meeting, team meetings. Every team and every group of their roster has this special meeting where the orange jackets, they go to these certain meetings and they have a whole discussion. Nico was there. He showed up as the negotiations or whatever the fuck you want to call them were still happening since, by the way, the playoffs. They've been having this for the since the playoffs occurred. So, and I'm going both ways. I want to be clear here. I've dug deep into this whole thing, and this dude, Nico, apparently was not fulfilling his collective agreements. He wasn't showing up for autograph ceremonies or autograph showings. He wasn't showing up for half the shit that he was supposed to do for being paid the money that he got. So he was skipping all these NIL requirements. Again, this is when you go back to putting him on an incentive-based contract that I can take this money back if you don't fulfill your agreements. If you don't show up to the shit that I'm paying you on, guess what? We're taking back your money. So should this kid have showed up to all the agreements he's being paid for? Fucking absolutely, if that's what's in the contract. But you or I have seen the contract. So that is the issue. We're all out here allegedly talking about this whole scenario. These kids have been tabbed professionals now. You guys have tabbed them professionals. We have tabbed them professionals because of the money they're making. But what you don't do is understand that they're amateur kids getting paid more money than their own parents, and that is what is affecting this whole scenario. The kid misses practice. Again, that is a shitbird act, regardless of if your dad told you to miss or if yourself you missed. But as the player, as an adult now, he's 19, 20, Nico is, he should have known the difference between missing practice and not, regardless of the whole money scenario. Football used to be the main thing. Football was the main thing. You either played football or you didn't. We, though, adults, have created a scenario where the kids now is about money. It ain't about football no more. And you all during the weeks and the years and the months past will all say the same shit. JB, it's about money now. You got to get your money. Got to get your bag. So you all are cool with that. But now Nico misses because of money, and now you all are going against Nico. Right? Am I clear here? So every other day, though, you're all on the kid side. But today you're not. Now you're on Hypo's side. Am I clear? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing? I just want to be clear here. Because I don't think a lot of you are realists in here. I don't think a lot of you are realists. I think a lot of you play the fence. You're gray area guys that if it's your fan base or your team, you go that way. If it's another team that you don't give a fuck about, you go that way. That's the fact. So let's just address that. You guys are fanboys of a particular team or school, and then that's how you guys will go. That's it. You're fanboys. I'm actually not defending Nico at all. So I don't know where you're hearing me defend Nico. Nico had, to some standards out here in the SEC, a bad year or mid-year, whatever you want to call it. He still led his team to the playoff, though, and I believe in a money collective bargaining era when high school and college kids are getting paid before they ever suit up, that a playoff quarterback in the college football era right now can shop around and ask for as much money as he wants. Have we not seen this already? Oh, it wasn't Tennessee fans, so you didn't care, right? You guys are comical, man. So when it happened with Will Howard and when it happened to all these other cats shopping around for more money, you didn't give a fuck because it wasn't your particular team. Is that what it was? Is that what I'm cheering? I'm just trying to hear. I'm just explaining the whole difference between this portal, this NIL, all the shit that's happening every day. I am not defending Nico at all because I'm the one that says, play the fucking game, homie. Am I not? Did Cam Newton not take my play the game, homie? Take? So I'm the one that says play the fucking game. Not don't play the game and sit out for money. Have you ever heard me say that shit? That's Smitty. That's everybody else on the chat, on the show. I'm the one that says play the fucking game that you signed up to play. Did I not? Have I not said that? Nico absolutely 100% of the time or should have showed up to practice. He should have fucking showed up and played the game that he signed up to play. He signed a deal before college started for him that said, I'm going to play the games at the University of Tennessee. And he's not doing that. So that's on fucking him. He should be fucking playing the game. Now, I don't know anyone outside of his pops that are in his circle that's apparently running the show. I don't know anyone else that's out there. I don't know if he has lawyers. I don't know any of that. All I know is that he didn't show up for practice and he's entered the portal. So this is my take. Play the fucking game. That's all I'm saying. I don't fuck with anyone that don't show up and handle their business, because if you're all going to say I'm grown because of what you're getting paid, then you better fucking show up and address the fact that you need to do the job that you're being paid for. That's the problem that y'all dismissing. These kids aren't being held to the standard to finish the job that y'all are paying them for. That's unfortunate, but the truth. These kids aren't being held. They're allowed to transfer in high school. They're allowed to transfer in college. Let's just address the fact of the matter. If you took the portal away, the NIL wouldn't mean shit and wouldn't matter. Because Nico would still be at Tennessee and having to fucking learn how to have some tough skin and compete. Would he not? If the motherfucking portal was dismissed and taken out, then guess what these cats would have to do? Honor their fucking contract. But everybody out here is disagreeing with me about the portal and dismissing the portal. Y'all are blaming the NIL. This ain't the NIL. This is the NCAA, non-caring assholes of America, who's created this shithole, and now you won't want to address it. The fact of the matter is allowing them to transfer at these particular times has allowed this particular subject to become a daily top topic, period. Because you don't take the portal away. If the portal didn't exist, there would be no issue, period. You would have relationships back in recruiting. I could recruit you for 4 years again. Once you sign with me, you're mine. and then we are going to handle this business collectively. If my head coach leaves during my 4 years, then I should have a one-time transfer. Period. That's just what it should be. For all you soft pussies out here who think the kid can transfer every single time and still get the same amount of money as a fucking coach should get, then I'm going to help you out. If your head coach leaves, you get a one-time transfer. If he don't, fucking stick it out and stay and fucking learn how to have some tough fucking skin. But the NIL ain't the problem. Y'all have already created the problem, and that's the portal, allowing these kids to transfer to 4 fucking schools in 4 years. That's the issue no one wants to talk about. It ain't the NIL. The NIL is not name, image, and likeness. That's the first problem. It's pay to play. And name, image, and likeness, as Ed O'Bannon, my good friend, once started, would have been based on jersey sales, video games, fucking whatever else they sell in the student store. You wouldn't have millions of dollars being put out there for a collective to pay for you only to be able to transfer 1 year later because you're not happy with the money or the contract. Guess what? How to end that? Take the fucking portal away. And then Nico's ass would have to sit there and fucking drop some nuts, wouldn't he? That's what the fuck would have to happen. His dad couldn't say shit or do anything. Nobody could say shit or do anything. He would have to sit there and compete and take it on the chin and understand, all right, this is the money I signed for. There's no development. There's no competition. There's no competitiveness. There's no fucking grown folks in the room telling these kids what the fuck's going on. And I'm going to be honest. You wonder why quarterbacks are mid as fuck? You wonder why quarterbacks are so shitty in the NFL right now? It's because of this. Instead of Nico getting with his fucking receivers at Tennessee and getting better this offseason and getting with his team in the weight room and building a rapport, he's worried about more money. And when you got kids worrying about more money, then there's a problem, Houston. There's a fundamental problem in America when we made it about money. Like, that's the bottom line. Football ain't about football no more, and this is not what college athletics were made to be. College athletics was not fucking put on this earth to create money for kids to go chase. It was to teach young kids how to be grown folks and chase the money. Like, I'm just trying to figure it out. We're giving these kids money before they ever earn anything based on their worth. Your worth is what you did at Warren High School in Southern California in a mediocre conference, and then you're going to go to play Alabama in the SEC, and you're worth $8 million? Fuck no. But y'all have allowed that, NCAA. You created this madness. So it ain't on the kid to turn down $8 million. The kid's going to take it every fucking time. Every fucking day, I'm going to take that money, and so are you. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say I'm going to turn down $8 million. I'm going to go. No, you're going to take the money. The adults created this, not the kids, homie. We are the cowards. And we're creating cowards. Now, Nico is acting as a coward because of what we created. The adults have created cowards because we're fucking cowards, homie. We don't want to address the elephant in the room and tell these motherfuckers what the deal is. That's the problem. Now we got kids looking to transfer every single time it gets tough. But what do I know? I'm the asshole. I'm the asshole and blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. You guys are just fucking, you don't want to hear the truth. That's the problem. Sometimes you don't want to hear the truth. It's sad, but it's truth. It is what it is. Yeah, let's bring Matt in. Fuck it. I'll go straight through right now. Big Matt McChesney's back off of his vacation. Dealing with some things. Matt is back. 6-0 podcast, 0 to 60 show with Bailey's back on. Bring Matt in. Matt, what's up, Matt?
Morning, brother.
Am I deaf? Oh, shit. Hold on, Matt. I can't hear you. It's on me. I got you?
Yeah, you were good.
All right, Matt. My speaker was off.
What's happening?
What's up, Matt? Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
You too,
hope all's well. We got some news since Matt's on. I'm gonna drop the news real quick for everybody out there. Shaun King was going to come on today and co-host with me since Smitty was out. I asked Matt to do so. Matt's got busy as well, But I want to give you an update on Shaun King real quick. Shaun King's having some health issues. He asked me to relay. So Shaun will not be on the show for probably a few months. So he's dealing with some things. I'll talk to Matt privately off screen about it. But I'm just letting everyone out there know. Shaun King, give his T's and P's. He gave everyone out there his best. He said, let you guys know. He'll be back. He said that ain't going to hold him back too long, but he'll be back hopefully in a couple months. So T's and P's to Shaun, and we'll get him back right. So Matt, yeah, man. And I think, Matt, you're aware of what he has. We all had to deal with it before, and I'll talk to you later about it. But let's dive into this, Matt. The thumbnail is a controversial one. It says coward on it. I started my lead-in with this whole thing about coward, and I don't think people realize what it was about. So I started this whole thing about this kid killing himself. Unfortunately, no one wants to see it. Prayers to his parents and everyone. Never good to lose a kid. I got to ask you, the adults in the room are the bigger cowards, and we've created the younger cowards to exist. I truly believe it. I think we are allowing something we've never seen, Matt, before. And you're a guy that struggled with mental health before. You're a guy that understands it. You wake up and actually say, oh, fuck, what's going on today? That's actually a mental health issue, not when I wake up and say, oh, I'm going to choose mental health today. Because he didn't have these issues. When I see, I'm getting riddled right now, Matt, because of the title and coward and all that. He didn't have these issues when he negotiated an NIL deal, though. And he didn't have issues at all when, I've been told everything, Matt. How do you know he doesn't have a chemical imbalance and all that? Well, how do you know I don't? I don't know any of that. All I know is he didn't have a chemical imbalance when he negotiated a bigger NIL deal. He didn't have a chemical imbalance racing his car and killing a 78-year-old. And he didn't have a chemical imbalance 2 nights ago when he ran away from the police. That's all I'm saying. Now, is it his fault? No. I'm calling for the adults in the room to stand up and drop their nuts and say, we're the cowards, Matt, for allowing these kids to get away with everything that they've gotten away with over the last several years. And it starts with today and this portal being open that you walked into about this Nico situation in Tennessee. So give your take on Lacy's unfortunate mishap and what we've created in society, man. I just think it's a bigger picture than just a kid actually having a terrible accident like this.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's terrible. There's nothing good about this situation at all on either side. Nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody wants to, nobody wants to be on the side of sympathy, and nobody wants to be on the side of pointing the finger at it. So it's, I've had a lot of ex-teammates. I know you have too. It seems like every football player, the older you get, the more you lose. That's just the way life works. But
friends
I've had a lot of ex-teammates that have committed suicide before, and I've struggled with mental health before. But sitting here now at 43 years old and having everything that happened in my life up to this point, where I think I could have checked out, and I didn't. Mental health is important, yes. But like you said, and I got to agree with you here, he didn't have mental health issues when he was signing his NIL deal and when he was healthy and happy. He made a mistake. It cost somebody else a life, and now it's cost his life because he made a rash decision to take his own life rather than serve jail time and the embarrassment of not being a first-round pick anymore and yada, yada, yada. All I have to say to that is this. Henry Ruggs is going to get out of jail in a year. He'll get paroled in a year. And he will be back on an NFL team 5 minutes after he's paroled. Just like Dante Stallworth and all these other guys that have made terrible decisions. And Leonard Little, when I played with the Rams, he killed somebody driving drunk. He still played. Like this kid made a mistake, and he wasn't intoxicated or anything, but he was driving erratically in a car that he probably doesn't know how to operate because he just wanted a big shiny dick, and the big shiny dick fucked him. And, it's terrible to see. You don't want to see anybody lose their life like this, but this is a cautionary tale.
Yeah,
that's period. That's what it is. It's a cautionary tale to every kid out there. You're not as good as you think you are. You're not as bad as you think you are. But damn, I mean, at some point, it's got to be about football and not about cars and jewelry and money. And even in the NFL, it's got to be about football and not cars and jewels and money. So
we've set the precedent, Matt. We've set that precedent as the adults. That's why I'm calling us cowards, man. Like I think
it's bad.
It is bad. Matt, you're on here with me, man, to co-host a few things. We got some special guests on. Xavier McDaniel, NBA legend, Supersonic legend. The pride of Wichita State will join us here later on. I think you got to go up before that, but we got an NBA knower of all things, man. This guy is going to give us all insight, hopefully, on your Denver Nuggets facing the LA JV, LA Clippers, and our Lakers playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. So Matt and I will bring our main man in, man. If you guys don't follow him, make sure you follow him on X. Our main man, Keith Smith, NBA, on Twitter. Keith, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Man, I appreciate you, man. We got Matt McChesney here, a 7-year NFL vet on the show. Two old white guys are going to talk to you about some NBA.
All right.
What's going on, man? What's your biggest takeaway right now from this play-in tournament? Is it the Warriors kind of hitting the skid here late and having to get into play-in again and not locking down a seed?
Yeah, I think for the Warriors, the tough part for them is this is now an extra game, at least, that they didn't want to have to play. They've got Stephen Curry's banged up. He's dealing with about 3 different injuries. Jimmy Butler got hurt yesterday. He was limping around at the end of the game. Draymond Green took a pretty hard fall early in the game. He's banged up. When your 3 main guys are all dealing with stuff, you really don't need to be playing an extra game. But here we are. They couldn't get it done, and they're going to be in there. They should beat Memphis. Memphis has been horrendous against good teams in the second half of this season, and then they'll move into a first-round series against the Rockets. And I think when we start seeing all the expert picks, that's probably going to be the most popular upset pick, because a lot of people are going to say, trust the Warriors, they're veterans, over the Rockets, who they've never been there with this group before.
No doubt. Matt's been down off the show for a while, but me and him would have loved to get back on the show last week when the Nuggets made a huge surprise move in firing Mike Malone, all-time winningest coach there. I think he's the third longest tenured coach in NBA, other than Kerr and Pop, probably. What happened there? And are the Nuggets a serious contender in the playoffs, even though they've gutted their front office?
They're healthy.
Yeah, to answer the second part first, I think if they're healthy, if Jamal Murray can be Jamal Murray, they can play with anybody in the Western Conference. That includes the Thunder, because they have some matchup stuff that kind of works a little bit against the way OKC likes to play. OKC will be and should be favored if that matchup comes to pass. But the question is going to be, is Jamal Murray going to be Jamal Murray? If he can't be himself, they're going to struggle to beat the Clippers, provided Kawhi Leonard can play, and that's a whole other story there. We've seen how that goes at this time of year. So we'll see. I think that's going to be a really fun first-round series with potential to be a long series, and then we'll see where it goes in the next round, whoever wins against Thunder, because the Thunder are going to get through the first round probably with relative ease. So I think the challenge for Denver is going to be, let's get Murray. Now, as far as the team's leadership goes, everything that has come out was Calvin Booth and Michael Malone were on kind of thin ice anyway. Calvin Booth wanted to make a change. Michael Malone wanted to make roster changes. And it sounds like when the team went through a slide, then they kind of reversed it here over the last week or so. But when they went on a slide and started to slip down the standings, ownership just had enough of the two of them bickering. The two guys did not like each other. That's been very well documented. They did not get along, and they decided, all right, you know what? We're just going to clean house. And in Calvin Booth, that part makes a little bit of sense. You're headed into an extremely important part of the year for an NBA front office. You're setting the strategy for the offseason. You're setting your draft prep. You're doing all that stuff. This is a crucial time. And if you don't want Calvin Booth leading that, fine, move on. Michael Malone, sounds like same with Taylor Jenkins in Memphis. There was a little bit of a fear of, hey, we want to make this change, and if they go on a playoff run, we're not going to be able to do it because no one will really accept it. So let's pull the Band-Aid off. Let's do it right now. we'll make the change and off we go. And that's kind of where we're at.
I got two questions for you here about the Nugs specifically. One, how can they voters rationalize not giving Jokic the MVP when he's averaging a 30-point triple-double, averaging at the center position? And then two, say they do get knocked in the first round. I watched Kawhi play last night. He was impressive. Jamal Murray or Michael Porter, are those two trade pieces, are they big enough with the equity they have in the draft to go get a Kevin Durant or somebody else?
Yeah, for the first part of it, I have said for really the last probably 2-3 months now, when it became clear it was going to either be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Nikola Jokic who wins the MVP. Just kind of it's eye of the beholder. Whatever you value more, pick it. And I'm not going to argue with anybody too much either way because both guys are terrific choices. I think ultimately what it's going to come down to is I think a lot of voters are going to look at it and say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a terrific choice, just kind of standing on his statistical merit, and his team finished 18 games ahead of Denver in the standings. Like they really lapped the field in the West. And I think that's going to be what pushes him over the top towards the MVP. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than some people have suggested it will be. As to the second part, there's a lot of stuff that goes into making trades when you're the Nuggets. They're an apron team, so they're dealing with restrictions around what they can and can't do and what would trigger hard caps for them. Same thing for the Phoenix Suns as one of the more expensive teams. So it's going to be hard for them to be kind of direct to trade partners. You'd end up in a spot where you're probably having to involve a third team to make that work, like we had to see the Warriors do when they got Jimmy Butler. Did that, and even the Doncic Davis trade. When that happened, the Utah Jazz had to jump in to help facilitate. So you're going to see probably something like that happen. The issue with Jamal Murray is starting a max contract next year, and there's already a lot of questions of, is he going to even make it to the end of that as a healthy, productive player? And then Michael Porter Jr., the issue has been, as it has been all along, is when is this guy's back going to go again? And if it does, now you stuck with a pretty big contract for a guy who can only play half a season or so. So that's going to be a little bit of what Denver's going to have to work around.
Let me ask you on this. I'm in LA, obviously, with the Lakers. How serious of contenders are they out here? They got a favorable matchup, I think, with Minnesota. I don't think it's as easy as everyone thinks it's going to be. I still think it's going to be a series. But how favorable is that series, and does that catapult them if they do get by there on the way to the Western Conference Finals? Are they a serious team here to come out of the West?
I think for the Lakers, getting up to the 3 seed was huge because that kept them on the opposite side of Oklahoma City. They just, they can beat OKC, but that was going to be a major challenge. They had to play them in the second round. So now drawing Minnesota, the one issue that the Lakers have is they don't have any size. Jackson Hayes starts the games, but he's playing the first 5-6 minutes of each half, and then he's on to the bench, and then they go small. If they can defend and rebound in those small lineups, they'll have a chance. But this is a big Minnesota team. They start one of the biggest front lines in the league. It's an extremely physical team. The Lakers don't have a great defender for Anthony Edwards. They're going to have to really figure that out. You're probably going to see a lot of double teaming when Edwards gets the ball, just to try to get him off the ball and force other guys to shoot and to beat them. So I think it's going to be a challenging first round series for the Lakers, but it's Luka and LeBron. You're not going to show either guy anything they haven't seen. They're going to be able to figure it out. They're going to be able to push through, anything there. I think you're going to see the Lakers find ways to score. Their best bet is let's try to get this a little bit higher scoring, force Minnesota to match us point for point. And then that'll be how they'll get through. And then from there, they're set up to make a run. Then it's probably the Rockets or the Warriors in the second round. I think they'd be heavy favorites over either one of those teams. We'll see how that goes, and we'll see. But it's going to be a lot of, are they healthy? Are Luka and LeBron able to make it through the postseason healthy? They don't have a ton of depth. And then again, can they find at least somebody to give them a little bit defensively that they haven't had at the moment?
No doubt.
Who's the first high seed out in the West?
Probably Houston. That's going to be the very popular pick. They just don't have a lot of experience. They're an extremely young team. The guys who have been to the playoffs haven't been there with this group in Houston, so they'll probably be the team that most people are picking to get. I think if the Warriors win in the first playing game and end up as the 7 seed, I think you'll see the vast majority of folks are picking the Warriors to beat the Rockets in the first round.
No doubt. On the east side, on the East Coast here, in the Eastern Conference, what we got is Boston is a shoe-in. Can Cleveland battle them? Are the Knicks serious? Like the Bucks back going? Like where are we at on the East as far as I know Boston has the experience, the youth, the depth, but I know Jaylen Brown's a little bit banged up. But where are you at with the East?
Yeah, and that's the question with the Celtics is how healthy is Jaylen Brown going to be? If he's not able to be Jaylen Brown, it gets a lot harder for Boston, but they do have pretty good depth. When it gets down to the playoffs, I always say you need to have good functional depth. You need to have 8, 9 guys you can trust to play. You don't need to have 10, 11, 12 guys like you need to have in the regular season because you're only playing at most every other day. You're going to be able to get guys, off their feet a little bit, especially if you can wrap up series early. So the Celtics they've been there, done that. They've won a title. They know what it takes. They played really well down the stretch of the season. I think they finished 18-3 over their final 21 games. So they really rounded into form, and they're going to be tough. The Cavs can definitely give them a run. They played them tough in the regular season. Cleveland has some size. The one issue for Cleveland is they put some guys on the floor you can pick on defensively. Guys like Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Max Strus. Those are guys that teams like Boston will isolate and they'll go at. I don't take the Knicks overly serious as a title contender because they haven't been able to beat one of the best teams all year long. They haven't beaten the Celtics, Cavs, or Thunder even one time this year. So that's really tough. And the Knicks, surprisingly for a Tom Thibodeau team, they stink on defense. They don't play enough defense. So they're going to be a challenge. And then you asked about the Bucks. The big question everybody has right now is, sounds like Damian Lillard could return at some point in the playoffs. We don't know when. We don't know when he's going to get cleared to come back. If that's in the first round and he can kind of play himself into form, they've got a chance. But if they don't have Damian Lillard, it's probably going to be a shorter than we think run for them. It'll probably be a round. Maybe they can knock off the Pacers and then they'll be out. But I wouldn't overlook that Indiana team. They got good experience last year. They're pretty healthy coming in this year too. They're going to be tough on Milwaukee in the first round.
No doubt.
I can't wait for it, man. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Hey Keith, I can't thank you enough for hopping on here, man. I gotta ask you before you leave though, Coach of the Year. Bickerstaff, my man in Houston. Is it JJ? Who you got?
Yeah, it's a pretty deep field this year. No, Coach of the Year had kind of for a while become like it was who best beat their expectations, where it was like who was the coach that led their team to 45 wins when they were thought to be a 20-win team. That's kind of what JB Bickerstaff has going for him. I have no issue if it's JB Bickerstaff. Kenny Atkinson's going to get a lot of love for taking the Cavs to the next level. I feel like Mark Daignault's sitting in Oklahoma City and like, we just won 68 games. We had the single best scoring differential that the NBA has ever seen in the course of a season. And it's like, I'm not getting any love here. I think it's probably going to be JB Bickerstaff because people will love that story of the Pistons who have been downtrodden forever and finally are playing well. One of my favorite, because it's interesting stats for the Detroit Pistons, they have not won a single playoff game, not a series, a game since 2008. So it's been 17 years since they've won even a game. They made it to the playoffs a couple times in that stretch and got swept out each time. So we're going to see what it looks like with them here against the Knicks. I think they'll break that run. I don't think they're going to beat the Knicks, but I think they will get a playoff win or two. And I think JB Bickerstaff's going to get a lot of love because of it.
Before you get out of here, I was going to ask you that because I'm going to bet some money. That's the series I think can win me some money. Detroit beating the Knicks in that first round because of the momentum they got, the buy-in they have with Bickerstaff, and the Knicks. They can play well, and then they can like you said, have lapses on defense. And the Detroit team's feisty, man. If there's a series out there though, is that the one team that can upset in the East?
Yeah, in the East, probably that's your best bet. I think that series is going to be extremely physical. I think you're going to see if you could bet series most likely to have an ejection or two for fighting. I think that'll be it. I think the Pistons like to they like to throw guys around. They play extremely physical with that. My one worry for them is how they're going to score enough points. I know the Knicks, and I've already said it, are not a great defensive team, but they score an awful lot of points. In Detroit, if you could kind of make life hard on Cade Cunningham, it can be kind of hard for them to get through. So I think we'll see. I think New York will get them, but again, for Detroit, you're almost kind of playing with house money now. No one expected them to even be a playoff team this year, and you're kind of looking at it as, hey, go get some experience. The playoffs are great at telling you this is what you need for next year. If you want to be even better, go get those pieces, and now you move forward. Future's really bright for the Pistons.
Yeah, it's good seeing the trade back.
Yeah, no doubt it is. Keith, man, I can't thank you enough for giving us some insight, brother, and good luck to everything you got going on. Make sure you follow Keith Smith, NBA on X. Are you on Instagram too, Keith?
I'm not on Instagram. I'm over on Blue Sky with the same handle, though.
Oh, nice. Okay, bet. Follow him over there, and I appreciate you, Keith. Hopefully have you on again as the playoffs go along.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, brother. Some insight right there from Keith Smith, NBA. Go follow him. He does a lot of good write-ups, so go check it out. Matt, let's get back as long as I have you. I didn't want to cut our guest short, but we got so much to talk about that I wanted to talk about with you. We got to get to this all the shit that's happening. Listen, I've already told everyone I'm soft. If it was Shedeur Sanders, you would have been going off. I said, well, it couldn't be Shedeur Sanders because Shedeur's daddy is the head coach, so that's a horrible comparison. But I wanted to get into this Nico deal at Tennessee. This is kind of what you and I just started with, right? Like we've created this. Like if a kid, if Matt McChesney's son is going to get offered $8 million by JB at Oklahoma, he is going to take the money. I'm sorry, people. Like yes, I don't understand. I don't get Matt. I don't understand Matt. Like we've created this, and I keep calling the adults in the room the cowards because we've created it, and now the kids got smart. They got a taste, Matt. You're telling me now, you know how hard it's going to be to get this taste out of their mouth to where
it's never going back in the bottle, dog.
See, that's what I'm saying. So I got to ask. Listen, you and I on this show had a debate 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And I said, man, there's going to be motherfuckers sit out of playoff games. And you and Smitty were like, nah. And I'm like, I'm telling you. And Josh Pate came out and said that I guess Nico was
trying to leverage the playoff game.
And that's what this money's doing.
No wonder why they played like shit.
Matt, this is what the money is doing, though. Like, right? Like, this is what it is. It's not about the main thing. Football's not the main thing no more. And this is the reason. This is why, Matt, I say quarterback play is at the all-time low because instead of throwing with the receivers that when you and I played, you would see the Qs and the receivers at Colorado out in the field probably half the year before the season in winter, in the spring. Me and my receivers are going to, and even in the spring break, if we're all from the same town, we're hooking up at the beach and throwing on the fucking sand. It didn't matter. We got together. They're worried about chasing the bag money now. They're not fucking worried about this whole shit no more. Like this ain't about getting better and worrying about fundamentals and mechanics. It's about chasing the biggest bag and where can I go get the next bag? And then the adults in the room have created a portal opening during the most inopportune fucking times of the year, which is crazy. So when I'm being facetious and a smartass, most opportune time for these players, inopportune for the teams. And you've created a portal opening in all these different times. Playoffs, there's an opening. College basketball, we just witnessed fucking opening during the goddamn tournament. Like, what? Come on, man. So anyway, Nico's bounced. He got money coming out of high school, Matt. They paid him on his worth because he hadn't earned it yet. And he didn't earn it in college either yet, being pretty mediocre in the SEC. But he still led his team to the playoffs. And my whole thing is this, Matt. If you lead an SEC team to the playoffs, I think you can go shop the country for a pretty big bag.
Yeah, so look, I'm glad Tennessee put their foot down because it sets a precedent. I don't think you can put this back in the bag or back in the genie bottle. I think it's over. Look, I'm not mad at the kid for trying to get paid, bro. That's everybody's trying to get paid more. Every coach is trying to get paid more. The system is my problem. The system is so broken. The NCAA and the programs can't get on the same page. There's no leadership. It's the wild fucking West. You can literally tamper whenever you want to try and steal a kid.
Now we're taking away spring ball.
I don't know. Like, there's no spring games anymore. I don't know how you're supposed to coach. Like, I run a business that requires people to invest in themselves and show up and work hard. That's what college football is. That's why I started the business and run it the way I do, because I'm trying to mimic what college football used to be. Now my business should be, oh, you're 6'5", 300. I should be paying you to come to work with me. And that's not the fucking way this is supposed to work. So I want the kids to get paid. Don't get me wrong, but there's got to be structure and there's got to be contracts and there has to be some way to hold people accountable on what they're supposed to provide once they get the contract. It's not just, I want everybody to understand where I'm coming from here. If you are just blindly agreeing with the player, you're a fucking idiot fan because you don't want quality football. You just want the players to get paid. Like, quality football comes from grit and toughness and overcoming shit, not being handed everything every 5 minutes and demanding more money because you can. Like, it reeks of entitlement. It reeks of selfishness. But this is the system that the NCAA and the programs want, apparently, because they're obviously not doing anything to stop it. And the teams that can attract talent are going to pay for it, and the teams that can't are not going to be teams anymore. Like that, I don't know how you're supposed to build a program at a lower level. I don't know how you're supposed to keep guys around. I mean, it's got to be super frustrating to always be recruiting your own players. At some point, your guys have got to be your guys that you roll with, and it's not the way it is anymore. And you can't equate this to the NFL. You can't say it's like the NFL. It's not like the NFL. You'll get fucking butchered if you tamper with another player on another team in the middle of the season. There's very specific time periods where you can go after free agents. You have to earn a certain level on your contract and games played and years invested to get your pension. You have to earn the right to be a second or a second contract free agent, a third contract free agent. You don't just show up and go, well, I was good in college, so I demand an $8 million contract. They'll laugh at you in your fucking face.
Hey, Matt, we gotta cut off one of the two things, right? We either shut the portal off and make these kids honor their contracts or their NIL agreement.
Put them on a contract. You have to
put on a contract. So we either cut the portal out, though, so they have to sit there at that school and either develop some fucking tough skin, compete again, and my coaches know, okay, I have this guy. I have this guy for 3 years or whatever it may be. Now, if the coach leaves, then I am all in. The kid, that's his transfer out right there. You should be able to bounce right there. If the coach leaves, then you should go.
I'm cool with that.
And then that's your one-time deal. And if we're going to sit up here, and I know you and I disagree a little bit on this, if we're going to compare the coach to the player, and the coach can leave and blah, 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 then why can't the player? Here's the difference. The coach has a buyout in his clause or has to pay money back on his contract that he signed. If Dion leaves right now, he has to pay some money back. The kids ain't paying no money back. Like, that's what the normal fan don't understand. The coach has to pay money. He's on a contract. The kid's
not even under contract with the school. The kid's under contract with some NIL collective, or they're getting paid by a pistachio commercial, or they're getting a fucking free car from the Ford dealership that they don't have to give back. Like the kids, this is teaching this generation that the substance isn't really important and the process is not really the prize. The prize is already there. I don't need to go through the hardships to get it. So let me ask this question. When football gets hard, what do you do? When life gets hard, what do you do? Like the easy road is right in front of you all the time. When it gets hard, you're going to take the fucking easy road. I'm sorry, but this kid wasn't worth $2.4 million. He didn't elevate his team to another level. If anything, he held them back. He was the reason they lost in the shoe. I don't care that he took the 10th ranked team in the country to the playoffs. Isn't that large? If Tennessee was in the Big 12, they wouldn't have made the playoffs. The only reason they made the playoffs is because they're an SEC team. So now I've got a bunch of big time players at 6-0. I'm proud of them, but you have to live up to those stars. And you living up to those stars is not the fucking check that you get right when you get to your school. That's not living up to your stars. So if you talk about, think about this. The NFL draft's about to start. Half of the first round picks, if not more, will be busts. So Pete Carroll's old adage, I can recruit 15 first rounders to SC. Why would I want to go to the NFL? Okay, so you're at an SEC school and you're recruiting the shit out of all these prime players, and you bring in a bunch of 5 and 4 stars who are draftable players. If you look at it like they'll project to the NFL, because that's the way these coaches operate. How many is it acceptable to miss on in that regard? Like, how many first round college players do you want to fucking miss on? Because this kid's a miss. He plays 1 year and then leaves. This is a total failure for Tennessee.
Let me play devil's advocate, though. If the kid didn't take Tennessee to the playoffs, though, which he did, which is still 12 of 132 teams, if he didn't, we'd be killing them too. See, that's what I'm saying. We'll never be able to please.
Yeah, it's not. There's no win here.
There's no win because here's the issue, Smitty. Matt. Here's what I talked to Smitty about. I say, Smitty, homie, this is a no-win scenario, and you're going to blame the team or the player. It's not ever going to be.
Everyone loses.
I was arguing with Smitty earlier because I'm like, dude, this is a team issue. This is a fanboy scenario. This is the upside-down Coke bottle that you and I know who it was. Used to be a co-host here. This is that fan base. This is that fan base, Matt, or Colorado's fan base, or Oklahoma's fan base. They're always going to go with the fan base of the particular 100%. Team, Matt. Yep. So Nico's a California boy getting recruited to go to Tennessee. He either needs to win the whole thing like a T. Martin did, or he's going to get shit on anyway. He's in a no-win. So now guess what? Oh, he's going back home. He's going to go to USC or UCLA, or he's going to go back West Coast. That's the thing, though. If it wasn't a Tennessee fan base, it'd be another scenario. I just don't think there's any win for anybody. Kids, coaches, nobody.
No, the entire point of college athletics, in my opinion, okay, and I know that I'm old, but the entire point of it is to learn how to be a fucking man and operate in the world. And it's going to set you up to go. If you do it right, it will set you up to have generational wealth. You're not, look, $8 million is nice. It's nice. Dak Prescott makes $60 fucking million a year to play quarterback. $8 million though, that's really scratching the surface of Dak's contract. Oh, God knows what it's going to be like in 4 years when this kid's draft eligible or whatever. You can be making $80 million motherfucking dollars a year at quarterback. So my thing is, where are the people that are actually being honest with these kids? I don't tell Brett Coolidge and Deacon Schmidt and Reese and Nick and Moon and all these kids that I work with that are all going to be big time players that are all going to get paid to play. I don't sit there and tell them that the fucking $500,000 or $1 million NIL deal that they're going to sign is like good. It's like generational fuck you money. It's nothing.
Let me ask you something.
Uncle Sam's taking a third. The other third is going to your people. And then you're going to go buy a fucking car and you're going to get a house and you're going to be fucking broke. And you're going to be looking for another NIL deal. So how about we go to the league and get paid? And the NCAA and college football, if they don't figure this out, bro, it's going to start turning people away from the sport.
Let me ask you something. Play devil's advocate. I'm gonna go take a side of Smitty and yourself's side, and I'm gonna talk about the kid here. And I know Nico's dad and I played college together, and I've known Nico since he was a little kid. I get all that, but I'm still gonna call it what it is. And that, to me, I say play the game, homie. That's my saying. Guess why? Because I want you to play the fucking game. You missed practice. You were dead wrong, in my opinion. There should have been something happening. This is why the main thing's not the main thing anymore, and that is going for everybody out there. But I want to go transition, and I'm going to defend the player over the coach here, or I just want to ask you. So Josh Heupel, Brian Kelly at LSU, Kirby Smart at Georgia, even Nick Saban at Alabama. How many times did we stick up for kids, Matt? How many times have you and I swept something under the rug or shed a blind eye to it so we can get that kid to the yard to get us a victory on the football field, even though we know what that kid done? We know what he did. How many DUIs have we seen? How many fucking assaults have we saw? How many Tyreek Hills and these shitbirds out here are hitting women?
Shitbird, that guy's such a piece of shit, bro.
But how many kids have we seen hit a woman or strike, do all this shit that we've kept around?
Yep.
And I just want to throw this out there. So now that Josh Heupel's come out and said, well, no one's bigger than the team. So this is the cutoff point, though? It's the money now. It's not all the shit we've helped defend kids for over the years to play on the field. Now this is it. The money things come in and bam, we're out. Listen, I'm not going to defend Nico over Heupel, and I'm not going to defend Heupel or any of that. All I'm saying is, like, this is the line we cut finally. Like, we've been helping. We've been doing some shady shit for kids for a long, long time in this sport, coaches. Come on,
bro.
now.
If you can play, you can get away with fucking murder.
Come on now.
If you can play, you can get away with murder, literally. Like this is the way it works. So I'm sorry that people in the chat don't understand that that's the way it works. And yeah, do I think that college kids are going to have a hard time managing their money and saving it and investing it? Yeah, I do think that that's going to be a problem. They're fucking children. Like, so it's look, man, I'm not saying it needs to go back to the old ways, but there needs to be a rule. One. Can we start with one rule about NIL and transferring and shit? Can we get one rule? And then we'll get two rules, and then maybe contracts, and then we can start to figure this shit out and build programs and build people and continue on this making money train, and everybody will be happy. That's all I'm asking for. Yeah. I'm not saying that kids can't make $8 million. I'm not saying that kids can't make $10 million. I'm not saying coaches can't get paid. I understand how much of a shitty situation everybody is in. I find it ridiculous that this kid has to go negotiate his own fucking deal. I call my agent if I want to renegotiate a contract or find more money. He goes and does it for me. I don't call the fucking franchise on my own. I'm like, oh, I want more money. Yeah, right. I'm not Lamar Jackson. So this entire situation is so fucked up. It's almost to the point of like, at some point, everybody's just going to sit here and be like, well, what are we fucking doing? That's where we're at now. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing?
Let me dive in. I know I got you for a few minutes here. Let me ask you about what's going on your neck of the woods real quick. Deion Sanders always 2 steps of the game, head of the game. Sorry. No need for pulling an Eli, he said. I'm happy and excited for them. I've talked to all the teams that fit the description. I know who they are. Some of those teams probably won't pick my sons anyway. Here's a video for it. Let's dive into it and show this.
Not negate the fact that I have 2 sons going into a shower.
2 sons, right?
I'm excited. I'm happy for them. I'm anticipating where they're going to go because this is the first time in their lives that they don't have the capacity to call the shot. It's a lot of speculation going on, and we're excited about the prospects of where they're going to be. And the dream is they could be together, but that may not happen. I've talked to all the parties of the teams that fit that description. I'm not going in that direction right now because I know who they are. We've had a meeting, kind of like a meeting of minds so they can insure me. Some of those teams probably won't pick my sons anyway. You don't have to get ruffled up over something that ain't going to happen no way. Direct. Like, we know you're going there. Now, I would probably do something behind the curtains, but I don't need to.
It seems like teams, Matt, and I've been saying this for a while, teams are going veteran savvy, going veteran way on the quarterback selections. As we've seen, we continue to see these older quarterbacks get signed to certain teams. It's starting to, I could be totally wrong. They can still draft these guys, no question. But I think that they're going the veteran way because I think they're starting to see this draft class is not as good as I think a lot of people thought it would be. And they're going to go veteran heavy. Flacco just signed with Cleveland. That kind of tells me try Are they going to still draft a Q or not? I wouldn't believe they would with the Deshaun Watson thing out there. I just want to get your take on at least these first three teams. I guess my first question to you, number one, is Cam Ward a first foregone conclusion to Tennessee, or can something happen there? And then is Shedeur sliding in your opinion or not?
Yes, Cam Ward is the number one pick. I think Travis will go second. We'll see what happens at 3 if they trade or if they just take Abdul Carter, try to put him next to Thibodeau.
All right. Let me ask you that, because since you know this space really well right here, because also negotiations and salary cap. That's why it's a great topic. So they got Brian Burns. They got Thibodeau coming off an injury. They got a Burns. I've came out and said a scenario that you can use Burns for some
trade
capital. Trade bait, get some of that money back, get in Abdul Carter to go along with the Thibodeau, or you can even trade Thibodeau if you think he's an injury-prone guy.
100%.
And so you go that route, right? You get that other pass rusher that you don't have to pay big money to yet, and you try to secure the front and get two edge pass rushers we know are unbelievable. The Eagles will get 5.
I mean, the NFC East, I'd imagine the other 3 teams in the NFC East are going to try and copy what the Eagles have done, which is stack offensive and defensive linemen on top of each other.
Yeah. So you think signing Jameis to a 2-year and Russell to a 1-year, does that just take away getting a rookie, or does that still mean I still need a rookie for the future? Because Brian Daboll's job's on the line, Matt.
I think maybe they go in the second round with Dart or somebody like that. And look, if they take Shedeur third, then awesome. Okay, so this is my feeling after – God, how long has the draft been going on? Holy shit.
I know.
I'm so glad it's almost over, because now we can just focus
10 days away. 10 days. What is it? 8 days?
I see a couple scenarios. I see a scenario where Cleveland takes Hunter second and then trades back into the first round to take Shedeur also. I see a scenario where the Cowboys could find a way to trade Dak and somebody else to, maybe the Saints, or jump in front of the Steelers. And, there's a scenario. I see a scenario where he goes 9th to New Orleans. I could see him falling all the way to 21st to Pittsburgh. And I'll say this. If he does fall to Pittsburgh, one of two things. He's either Kenny Pickett, which I don't think he is, or he's found the best possible situation to be successful. Because sometimes I said this like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, it's not about your pick anymore in the NFL. It's about your fit. Shedeur's not going there to get paid. Shedeur's a multimillionaire already. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, if I'm Shedeur Sanders, I don't really care where I get picked. I care about the fit that's going to support me in a quality franchise with a good defense that runs the football, where I think I can go there and have success. And then once he gets there, it can turn into him, uplifting the franchise and giving them success. So it's a hand-in-hand proposition. All these guys going in the first round, the majority of them are already comfortable. So again, is it about your pick? Is it about the egotistical part of I'm the first pick or I'm the fourth pick or whatever? Or is it about fit? And I would think that moving into this new era of college players being paid, and some of them being paid extremely lucrative, with Hunter and Shedeur being the top 2 NIL earners in the country, it's got to be about fit more than pick.
Yeah, that's an interesting take, because our interesting draft is going to be. Let me say that I don't know if.
But the quarterback class is terrible this year, and the quarterback class next year is. I was just looking at it, and the dude from Penn State is at the top of it, and I wouldn't pick that guy to run my franchise if you paid me.
Yeah.
So the quarterback play is
getting worse. Getting worse.
It's dog shit. It's terrible.
If we make it about money, and we continue to do that, and we're paying these kids out of high school, and then expect them to go face Alabama and make that money pay dividends for me on my return,
it's system too. It's so many of these quarterbacks depend so much on their legs in the college game. I understand that Jalen Hurts just won the Super Bowl and Lamar's winning MVPs, but both of those guys can still operate from the pocket pretty effectively too. They just happen to be able to run. So, if you're not teaching pro scheme and you're not teaching pocket presence, and there's no like competition either. None of these kids are going to walk in, with the exception of the first pick, and just start immediately. They're going to have to compete. So in college, when you don't have to compete, when you can't pick your destination, like Coach Prime just said, well, now there's no more choices. Well, no one gives a shit if you're disgruntled. You're under contract. So, it's college football and the NFL are two different games. The NFL is playing professional football, and college football is playing professional feelings.
No doubt. It is, indeed.
Two different sports, bro. It's almost as drastic as college basketball and the NBA. It's two different sports. I don't care what anyone says to me. Watching the tournament was cool, but the quality of player on the floor in the game. If you're a fifth-year senior in college basketball, you ain't playing in the NBA. You already would have done it.
You're right. It used to be one and done. We got tired of that. We had to, then we made them stay one and done. It used to be coming right out of high school with Kobe and KG and these other guys. And then it went to one. You got to stay 1 year. And the NFL has a 3-year rule for a reason, which is kind of shit.
Please never take that rule off either.
They're trending towards it, man. I'm going to tell you, with all this other shit, this soft rules and flag fucking Pro Bowls and all these other things. I mean, they're trending towards it. I'll tell you. We've had some legends on the show lately, and Bill Romanowski about the helmet condoms last week was like, come on, man, it's a fucking joke and all these other things. And now we're making high schools, I think, are going to start mandating the helmet condom. We're trending that way, man. I don't know. And then Goodell's, we're going to keep DEI regardless of what Trump says. I mean, it's trending that way. I don't know. Matt,
if we're going to keep DEI in the coaching ranks, we should do it with the players too. We should just walk in at halftime. We should sit Justin Jefferson down and pick some dude in the stands who has the Justin Jefferson jersey on. Yeah, and be like, it's your turn now to run routes, because we've got to make this equal for everybody. So it's not about play and whether or not you can do the job. It's Justin obviously does it at a high level, but we're going to sit him down and we're going to get Frank out of the fucking stands to come run some slant routes in the second half. That's how it sounds to me.
Hey, let me ask you real quick before you leave, my favorite tagline before you leave, let me ask you, here's one thing. I got to ask you, there's another disturbing incident. We got the kid that passed away, obviously self-inflicted gunshot wound, as he was due to enter the courtroom today about another death that he incurred on a driving accident in Lacy. We also have an issue of a prospect choking a girl. And I don't know if this is assault, Matt. I believe it's actually attempted murder after watching it. I'm gonna be honest.
It's ugly.
Yeah, it's ugly. What's your take about this? And I don't know if we can even show it, Bailey, or should we show it? I don't know. But I wouldn't show it. You know what I'm talking about, Matt?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Here's
Bailey, what's the kid's name? The whole name? Type it to me.
Keep your hands off of females and children. You fucking scumbag.
Man, it's unbelievable.
Like, I have more sympathy for Lacy making a bad decision driving.
Right.
And like, wow, he fucked up. That sucks. But I have sympathy for that. They should cut your balls off, hanging around your fucking neck and parade you around fucking town. That should be the punishment. I'm sorry, bro. And especially if it's on film and there's no denying how you're just beating the shit out of her, dragging her around while she's choked out. That's not domestic violence. That's attempted murder. Tyreek Hill fucking, and I mean, how many, he's got 10 baby mamas. How many assault cases against him does he have? He broke his own kid's arm. He's been on audio talking about beating the shit out of everybody. If you have sympathy for this, you're a fucking coward, and you probably do it too. You probably put your hands on females and kids, and you think it's okay, and you think that's the way to like get your point across. But to be completely honest with you, at 6'5", 330 pounds, and relatively mean, I would love to get the abuser in a field somewhere and put these fucking hands on them, because that's the kind of that's the shit that you're doing. You're taking your, stature and the aggressiveness of a man, and you're influencing it on a woman and a child. Well, when you go to jail, I'm sure Bubba will influence you, bro. So it's just, I don't think there's a more coward move on earth. It pisses me off, bro. There's no more coward move on earth than this. Now, it does go both ways. Women can't be putting their hands on men either. You can't, it's got to go both ways. You got to have a little bit of fucking, a little bit of responsibility while you're fighting, I guess. But holy shit, dude, that was a bad look. I bet you he doesn't get drafted. What you think?
That's the thing, and I want to be clear here.
You're never playing football again, bro. You have a better chance of killing someone in an accident like Henry Ruggs did and getting back on the football field than doing domestic violence like this over and over and over again and getting back on the football field. But then how does Tyreek Hill keep getting away with it?
That's my point. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if the motherfucker gets drafted. Like, that's again the coward that I put on this thumbnail. Again, cowards are going to fucking let this cat get drafted, because we don't care about moral compass in this country anymore. If you can perform, guess what? Guess what, Matt? Don't bet $16 on DraftKings tonight. You'll lose a whole season. But you can hit abroad, and you'll be able to just miss 4 games. Like, the fucking hypocrisy is unfucking believable. It's unfathomable. I just don't understand it. I think the kid's name we're talking about out there for the audio listeners is Quadarius Davis, who was the kid caught choking his girlfriend because she broke up with him. He's got her lifted off the ground, Matt, in a arm
he's
bar.
dragging her around and shit, bro. Yeah.
And he's got her lifted off the ground, by the way, 3 feet off the ground. Like, I'm just telling you, dog, if it happens and I find out, and I'm a guy that's not even close with his daughter, if it happens and I find out, I'm driving over there and it's a dundada. I'm going to jail and you're not going to be around. I'm just saying, that's just what it is. And I don't think people realize that. That's the problem with what we have nowadays. The NFL will give this motherfucker a pass, and then in 7 years, he'll do it again, and everyone's going to wonder why. Because you fucking allowed it. We don't make examples of anybody in this country anymore, dog. Go over to China and try that shit. Or one of these countries. You'll be hung up in Times Square.
Well, just think about it like this, too. Let's take this full circle before I get off. You're introducing more females into the framework of the sport than you ever have before. Yeah. From refs to assistant coaches to front office people to scouts to fucking recruiting personnel. I'm more women than have ever, and good. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I know you have a different outlook. I'm not in it anymore. I'll watch. I don't really give a fuck. But I will say this. I have an entire locker room of a bunch of misogynistic assholes who don't appreciate women and do not respect them at all. Why in the fuck are you pouring them into your franchise and program to work with the kid? You think that they're going to have respect for the running back coach chick? No. You think they're going to respect the ref who's a female? No. Well, they don't even respect their own women that they have kids with and their wives and girlfriends and shit and their mamas. Like it turns into I don't think there's a more like hypocritical fucking thing out there than this right now. You're promoting one thing on one side, yet you're letting everybody get away with it on the other side. Like, it's not a big deal. The Tyreek Hill thing was like one fucking day of news. People didn't even run with it. They're at his apartment, fucking got guns drawn on him. He's freaking the fuck out, screaming. Another domestic violence abuse, problem with Tyreek Hill, and it's cool. Don't worry, but he didn't get arrested, so don't worry about it.
But don't bet, Matt. Don't bet. But don't use DraftKings, by the way, the company that funds us as an NFL. Don't use them, but we'll suspend you for a year.
Well, but this is my point. It's like the they're so worked up about like the visual that they're not worried about what's actually happening. That looks worse. It looks worse. Like the NFL, if you're worried about these kids coming into the NFL with money and maybe they're not going to work as hard, maybe you should get involved with college football, the system that feeds your system. Because without college football, bro, good luck. Good luck running the NFL. So, maybe they should pour into that system and find a way for everybody to work together to make some of the rules consistent. And some, like when Jalen Carter kills his friend and he doesn't go to jail and nothing happens and all he does is drop 2 picks. Like, if anything, Jalen Carter set it up inadvertently to go to the Eagles. I mean, it's like he got a high five and was like, oh, well, you're going to slip in the draft a little bit because you fucked up. But you didn't fuck up that bad. It's okay. You can play 3 technique. It's not supposed to work like that, bro.
Yeah, and to your point that you just made, that was a good one. Before you leave, take a look at this. This is Bill Belichick at practice, and this is what's going on there.
That's not Bill Belichick.
Yeah, well, it is. Actually, it is. That's his side piece.
Bill Belichick.
Here's the thing, Matt. This is what we're bringing around the kids now, right? We're bringing this around. We're bringing this around the boys, Matt. We're bringing this around. Like, this is what's happening. I'm just telling you. And to your point, you're asking, you're having guys choke these guys for girls. I'm just.
Coach Belichick's got himself a young dime piece on the sideline. You think the kids aren't looking at her? Let me guess. Do you think the kids are looking at her when she walks by and everybody's giggling and saying some shit? Oh yeah.
Like, come on.
There's a bunch of fucking dudes on the football field, you idiots. What do you think is happening? She's out there dressed like a country music star, and the only thing she's fondling is his nuts. She ain't fucking touched a goddamn Grammy in her life. So I personally, if I was Bill, I wouldn't be parading my fucking girlfriend all over the field. Do that on social media on your own time. This is supposed to be about football. Your girlfriend can go fucking sit in the box.
Homie, I could never have no broad at practice. You got it.
Why the fuck is she at practice dressed like that, dog? What
She's part of that. She does like emails and shit.
She works for the fucking team?
Homie, he's CC. Dog, have you not heard that she has an agreement that she is CC'd on all emails?
Why? Why? What the fuck does she? Why do?
Dog, I have no idea, bro. But I'm telling you, that's a fucking deal. And so I'm just saying, man. Listen, I don't know, Matt. I don't know how this happens, but like, what happens? And knock on wood, Matt. But what happens if there's an incident in the dorm room with a player and a girl? And there's some sort of violent act. How do you address that, dog, when you got your girl around all the time? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're toting a bunch of fine lines here, man.
I don't know, man. This is a sticky one.
That is good to have you back, man, for a while. We'll see you again. Maybe this week we'll see you back. And then
see you back on Friday.
All right, brother. All right. Peace. Matt McChesney, make sure you follow him, and Bailey will be back on their show, 0 to 60 Pod today. So go ahead on over there. Appreciate everybody, man. Pound that like. There's over 7,000 people in here, over 2,100 people on YouTube. Appreciate it. On a work boot, Merciless, hardworking, fucking tell the truth telling, free game, everything today on this Merciless Monday. So pound that like, subscribe. We're going to take a quick break to pay the bills. But before we do, what's happening now? I know Smitty's not here. He's not on the right today. But maybe that's Jamil Ridley on the right today, or one of these fucks. But let's dive into it. If you know about California and you know about a big event that we have out here every year called we got Stagecoach. We got this thing at Coachella. Everybody and their mamas performed here. Here's what's happening now. 60% of all the Coachella attendees financed their tickets to attend the festival, according to Billboard. Now, let me be honest with you, dog. If you got to use what I'm hearing is Klarna, what I know about Klarna, Klarna, finances, I guess, shit that you can pay monthly or whatever. There's been about 100,000 attendees each weekend for the festival, and over half of them are financing their tickets through Klarna. And the ticket prices are around $600, but most festival goers are spending over $1,000 between housing, food, and everything else. People die out here. It's hot as fuck. It's out here in the middle of no fucking nowhere out here in near Palm Springs. And the payment starts with a down payment as low as $50. Like, if you got to fucking finance a ticket to go to a fucking Coachella, you shouldn't fucking go to Coachella, homie. Stay your broke asses at home. And I'm going to be real. When you finance something and you don't have to pay for it, you know fucking well when you're young, you ain't probably paying it anyway. So the idiots that are financing tickets are absolute fucking shitbirds. And the guys that finance that go to these are the most degenerate, low-life fucks that you can possibly bring to your concert. Because they're the ones that are going to be fucking shit-faced, trying to fucking rob you, stab you, shoot you, start a fight. This is what it is. And I got people there, man, that go to these things, and they're like, JB, this is the worst one it's ever been. It's getting worse and worse and worse, dog. God damn. The STD rates are high there too, huh? Well, shit, I assume they are, I guess. I mean, I hear they fucking right out on stage and shit. Fuck, man. I don't know. I can't wait for what's happening tomorrow. We're doing a fucking thing about what California is doing. Smitty and I are going to talk about it. Bailey, take a note because I got to make sure that's our what's happening now tomorrow. California is putting in a sperm race. California is putting in a sperm race. They're going to have two guys bust a nut, apparently, and then whatever sperm reaches a point faster is going to, I don't know. We're gonna dive into that tomorrow. Best believe. Yeah, it's real shit, by the way. It's real shit, by the way. It's happening here in California as Governor Demonic Newsom. God damn, look at that motherfucking idiot. I hope he broke his whole fucking face. We're gonna take a 3-minute break. We'll be back. Pound that like, man. We should have almost 2,000 likes in this motherfucker. If you're real ones and you came to hear real talk, then you should pound the like a real one that y'all claim to be. Or y'all are half on fucking borrowed memberships because someone gifted you one and you're now just fucking being a shitbird pussy and making these shitbird comments because you're gifted a membership. Guess what, gifted members? I'll block your bitch asses too. We'll beat you back in 3 minutes on the realest show on planet Earth. Peace.
Account posts a girl working with quote unquote route guide who's a South
Coach
Florida trainer.
This. Coach love this.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, look at it. Oh, hold on. She down there look good. Why y'all playing around?
She look like Travis Hunter.
Hold on. Bullshit. Her feet look kind of good, Steve. Like all jokes aside.
So you're looking at her feet. Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Smitty, can I just tell you something?
It's a good workout.
This is the football version of
Let me line up the front. Can you put her head up? Put her head up running the route, like facing me.
Hold on, real quick, Jason. This is also a kid. I want to make that clear. This is not a grown woman before you do what you're about to do. This is a 14-year-old, 13-year-old kid, 12-year-old kid.
Hey, Smitty, I'm from Compton. Start none, won't be none. So here's the go. Let me see. All right. So is this her route?
Yeah.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Throw that motherfucker down. Fuck all that work shit. Give me that. Get the fuck out of here. Why are we showing all this bullshit?
Flag. It's for flag. She's not playing football.
Stop. I'm going to choke slam the fuck out of her.
That's not cute, Jason. She playing flag.
I want to know this, Smitty. Have you ever seen a motherfucker run a route like this?
What's wrong with JV, Steve? Tell me something wrong with him, seriously. Look at him. Look at him. Look at my co-host, Steve. Something's actually wrong with him. Like, we got to go get him checked.
Have you ever seen a route? Hey, Alan, does your whiteout start out front of everybody?
What show do our co-host, man?
God damn, homie.
Hey, you almost look like you were doing the Roger Rabbit there.
Hey, have you ever
like you're doing the RoboCop?
I'm not a breath, Smitty. But hey, have you ever seen a
you out of breath.
hot? Have you ever seen a hot?
Out of shape fast.
Hey, have you ever seen a hot? Hey, Steve, you ever seen a hot get into the phase and get into the route?
Why you breathing so hard, homie?
I smoke a cigar.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
I mean, Smitty, that's the football version of when boxing hits. Every mediocre boxer look kind of good on mitts. They all look like pound
This is
for pound.
unbelievable.
I don't,
But my question for y'all, why are we mad that she's just doing some cone drills?
I'm not.
It is. It's just some cone. Like, it ain't.
Why-
They're not
why-
saying she's about to get drafted in the NFL. They're not. She's just doing some cone drills. We know flag football is something the NFL is promoting. Agree to disagree. But
Hey, by the way,
she's just doing drills.
DI.
Smitty, about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
the NFL Network during the summer showed some international flag football competition, and I just, all right, I'll watch it.
I need water.
And it was the U.S. against Mexico. Man, those Lupes and those Henrietas, they beat the hell out of us. Seriously, the Garcias and the Lopezes. And
Flag is a different sport.
Blew us out.
Flag is different than regular football.
It.
Yeah.
Steve, did you hear last week's Mexican word of the day?
You're breathing so hard right now,
No,
Jason. You good?
literally. What's up?
You never heard the last week's Mexican word of the day?
Nuh-uh.
Bailey, do you have the video? Can we show it? I'm surprised you didn't see the Mexican word of the day. Cisco and Ruben gave it to me. I reiterated it. Actually, Cisco did not give it to me. He called me a gringo. But we did a video. Our take.
Short. It might be a short. Yeah, give us 1 second. There's a short, Bailey. You can find on Instagram.
Hey, Steve. So you're telling me that over in Jalisco, they beat us?
Years ago.
Wherever it was, no, it's a couple years ago, and it was a blowout.
But it was young.
Was a blowout. Yeah, they were young women. I think they were like above 18. It was like an international tournament. They had production. The NFL Network was kind of had the announcers. I was like, wow, they're beating that. It was almost like 35-0. I'm just telling you, it was actually a blowout. I was like, wow.
Because we're not investing in the sport enough with our women because JB was so anti-flag that we're getting embarrassed now.
Take a listen, Steve. This is the Mexican word of the day last week. This is Mexican's word of the day. My homeboy asked me to give a shout out, so I said, let me do a Mexican word of the day. We say Mexican here in the hood. We don't pronounce anything like with a C or as a Mexican.
Love that.
Smitty, the word is chum.
Chum. Okay.
CHUM.
Chum. Have I heard the word chum?
Chum's like you chum for fit when you fish. You
like
chum.
Fish. Yeah, like this. Yeah, chum. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a Mexican word. All right. Shout out to chum.
My whole family is illegal. I hope ICE don't catch them.
All right, that actually did not sound the same.
We are back in the building. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. Bailey, if you could show that latest thing, 3-on-3 is one of the people that broke the story that Nico's father was pulling Nico out of Tennessee. Nico's dad went at him on X or Twitter, and then the 3-on-3 guys are going back at Nico's pops, talking shit, blah, blah, blah. The latest to come out in this transfer era portal for anyone out there that's caring where Nico ends up, I do not care. I don't care where any of these guys end up. I'm all for staying where the fuck you committed to and signed on the dotted line to. You know me. Play the game, homie. Apparently, UCLA, Tulane, and North Carolina are in the final three. I've been told a school, I won't say it, where he'll end up, but North Carolina is very interesting. Does Belichick have the balls to go against the grain and say, fuck it, bring you on? I'm curious if Bill would be the guy to do that, because apparently Dan Lanning is one of the people that came out, called Josh Hypo and said, hey, Josh, Nico's shopping around for a better deal. And that is what I talk about all the time on this show. The coaches that allow the kids to shop around without standing on business and defending the game itself. I'm glad Dan actually went out and called him and told him this, because that's protocol. That is what the profession used to be. If a kid calls me from school A and I'm at school B, I would call that coach and ask him and tell him, hey, dog, do you know that your quarterback shopping? And they'd be like, nah, coach, what's going on? He's like, well, this kid's been contacting us. I told the kid no. And I don't want damaged goods, number one. And I didn't want someone that I didn't get originally anyway. That was my ego talking. Nowadays, everybody just takes everybody. It's like, fuck, man, it's the most lazy recruiting I've ever seen, because we as coaches are allowing guys to leave and enter a portal and then not even tell the other coach and say, hey, man, this kid's shopping on the job. When you shop on the job, I don't want you. I don't want an assistant coach shopping on his job. If you're trying to leave Ohio State during the season as an assistant to get a bigger bag at North Carolina as a coordinator, I don't want you. I'm firing you on the spot, which I did on Netflix, by the way. I'm firing you. Finish the job. Then worry about what you do next. But if you shop jobs on the job, that goes for players and coaches, I got no fucking love for you. You got to get the fuck out. There's no loyalty no more, man. And there's no honor amongst thieves. And I'm glad that Dan called it out and called Josh Hypo and said, this guy's shopping. But my question is, is he really going to say, fuck it, I don't care? Because Belichick had no friends in the NFL. I don't think Belichick gives a fuck either. I think Belichick will say, fuck it. If he's good enough to play and he can win, that's what he is. He's going to win. I don't know if that's the case or not. All I do know is if you're a coach at any of these institutions, are you taking this kid after he strictly and clearly showed you what he's about? He wants the money. He wants the money that, in my opinion, he has not earned. But this is the fucking Pandora's box that the adults in the room opened. And if at the end of the day, if you're not going to fucking address the elephant in the room and call out the adults for being cowards, then you're fucking delusional. We opened the box. We created this mess. We offered the money. We offered the kid $8 million out of high school, homie. And this is the mindset from this nobody in the chat right here. Let me put this up here. He isn't on the job, though. It's the off season. This is the problem. This is why the casual fan that never coached or played needs to just stay out of it. Eddie Hernandez, you need to just stay the fuck out of it and keep bagging my groceries at Walmart and asking your mom for allowance in the basement you live in. This is why the casual needs to stay out of it, because there is no fucking off season in college football, you fucking moron. There's no fucking off season when you get paid $8 million, you fucking idiot. That's the problem with some of you fucking idiots. You guys all believe there's an off season. There's no fucking off season. They just went to the playoffs. The college football playoff ended in fucking January. They have winter conditioning. Guess when? January. There's no off season. Now there's an off season. You think this kid gets 6 months in Cancun after the fucking bowl season ended in college? You fucking idiot. The problem is we have a bunch of nobodies who are making decisions about the somebodies. And what that does is create more nobodies. Just so you know, that's what happens. This is what's going on now in this landscape. Fucking, it was December, January. There ain't no fucking off season. So now he's allowed to shop on the job. Holy fuck, man. Some of you guys are fucking delusional. I'm just gonna be honest. Some of you guys are fucking delusional. And they just had their spring game last week, right? The Saturday, Sunday, or Friday? Oh yeah, Saturday. So they just had their fucking spring game. Was that an off season? So they had their off season when their spring game was 2 days ago? So that he didn't have to do anything, right? He wasn't in meetings or prepping or anyone. He didn't have no practice prep or, learn the system, new offense, install. He didn't have no install calendar or anything, right? He just went straight to fucking off season. Holy fuck, man. Again, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. This is the generation that the cowards, the adults in the room, have created. We've created more cowards. And that's why the fucking thumbnail says coward. And it can go so many ways today. Holy fuck. There's so many cowards to talk about today. I'm going to be honest. There's so many. And the next one we're going to talk about is the shooter himself. The fucking grenade throwing, machine gun toting, IG story posting, John Morant. Stephen Ramey. No, I wouldn't have talked about Shedeur doing it because he plays for his daddy. He plays daddy ball. I already addressed it, Stephen. You're late to the party. You're late to the party. Good, Ronald. And Ronald, that's all you had to do before you commented, though. That's what the problem is. Social media has allowed people to come out and say things preemptively without knowing the fucking facts. Go listen to the show first. Ronald came at me hard. He was talking shit and knew everything about it and blah, blah, blah. And now he went back and listened, and now he agrees with me. See how funny that works? That's the same thing when we anoint motherfuckers. We anoint people quickly, far too often, without even seeing the fucking end product. We won't even watch it. We say that this guy's the best already. We haven't even seen him. Shedeur Sanders, I guarantee, he's going to be a top 5 NFL pick. That's what people are saying in chat. Let the motherfucker play, homie. Let's see what the motherfucker can do. I'm going to make an opinionated guess and take, and I think it's a professional one, having evaluating, playing the position, coached the position my entire life. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't believe Shedeur will be around the NFL in 3 to 4 years. That's my opinion. Now, you guys can have all yours. You can have all yours you want. You can go say all the fucking shit you want to talk about. So it is what it is. I do believe Dan Lanning did that. Let me take a look at Stephen Ramey real quick. You cat-eating motherfucker, shut up. Stop talking to me, you fuck. Get your bitch ass up out of here. Don't try to talk now, motherfucker. Anyway, let's talk about John Morant here. This guy just don't get it. Another coward. A coward raised by both parents. Show intelligence. Yeah, I'm a tough guy on the camera only. Come see me in person. I'll wait. Keep thinking I'm a Netflix star, motherfuckers. Just pull up. I'm not hard to find, homies. I'm not hard to find. You guys can find me any day. Y'all prime sexuals love Dion. Isn't that his tagline? I ain't hard to find. We ain't hard to find. We coming? Well, I ain't hard to find, pussy. Little puss boy. Come holler at me. Come find me, motherfucker. I'm right here. You better have an army. I promise you better have a fucking army, though. It'll be the last person you find. Let's dive into John Morant, though. This motherfucker continues to throw grenades. He continues to grenade. Now he's pulling that. Another coward, homie. Another coward. He's another fucking coward that half the chat, the bitch ass chat in here, will sit up here and defend I'm sure Ramey's defending him. I'm sure Stephen Ramey's defending him. Dog, you got to take it out. You got to take the motherfucker and eliminate him from the league. Period. You got to take him from the league, or you're going to continue to get mocked, homie. This is a guy who's Carlton. He's Carlton. He's fucking Carlton. We already know the truth of the matter, and this motherfucker can't get out of his own way. It is the epitome of wasting his talent. Period. Wasting his talent. You're going to see the dude out the league here in the next few years. Just mark my words, because of some stupid shit that is going to be endorsed by half of you fucks in the chat. You'll all endorse it. Oh, coach, it's all good. Listen, the motherfucker was taught and told by the league office, don't do it. And now he's doing it even more. And now he's going to be in the NBA playoffs on your biggest stage, Adam Silver, and you've done nothing to it about it. You're a fucking coward. Again, another coward creating who? Cowards. And that's hence the thumbnail. Coward. Just like a lot of you fucks in the chat. It's crazy you talking about a dead kid. But I ain't heard nobody defend a 78-year-old Marine. I ain't heard nobody talk about that motherfucker who died at the hands of the motherfucker who just killed himself. That's crazy. After he was getting chased by the police again. That's crazy. Nobody talks about that. It's crazy, though, that you'll defend the guy just because he died. Isn't it? Isn't it crazy now that we're going to probably end up putting Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame after he died? Isn't it crazy how the narrative changes after you die? But I'm the asshole because I call it out during your life. And I'm the asshole. But when he dies, well, I'm the asshole, I guess. Let's take a look at what Shaq had to say about John Morant.
He has a history that maybe he shouldn't be doing. Yeah, maybe just keep the celebrations with people might die alone.
You know what they're doing because y'all gonna keep talking about that. Pull that pin.
I know one person happy right now.
Who's that?
Taylor Jenkins ain't got to deal with this crap. He's going to get another job that he deserves. I'm like, I don't have to deal with this immature stuff.
Fact. That's fact. That's fact. Just so we're clear, that's fact. Bottom line is, Jenkins don't want to deal with that motherfucker. He didn't want to deal with them, and he don't have to deal with them. So I'm glad he is. I'm sure he's glad he's gone. And Stilly the Boss. Let's break this down real quick, Stilly the Boss. You're a coward, homie, and we don't have to agree with you, JB. It's all good for people to not agree on something. Holy fuck. Isn't that the premise of this whole show? Stilly the Boss, are you just fucking tarded? Is that what you are without the re, homie? Are you just tarded? Isn't that what I tell you every day? But now all of a sudden, you don't have to agree with me. It's okay. Oh, I don't talk about barbershop banter on this show every day, huh? That we should be able to have a conversation. You fucking idiot. God damn. Some of you motherfuckers are just stupid as shit. Holy fuck, homie. Are you that dumb? Jesus Christ. Stephen Ramey, I pull out the MAGA ignorance. When did I pull out the MAGA? You ever seen me tote around a MAGA flag or a MAGA shirt or anything? Again, ignorance is life-threatening, homie. Again, all you motherfuckers think an American flag is a Trump flag because it's MAGA. You motherfuckers just aren't very smart. That's how divided motherfuckers really are, homie. That's how divided we really are. So I'm just saying. Ramey, I said you're a cat eater because your teeth look like 50 Cent teeth, homie. It looked like you got a set of teeth that look like 50 Cent, motherfucker. That's why I said you're a cat eater. You got a full face of teeth, motherfucker. You something. You eat something, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Don't turn it into race now. 50 Cent looking motherfucker. God damn. Some of you motherfuckers are weirdos, homie. Some of you motherfuckers is weirdo fucks. Country diet. At least you admitted it, homie. At least you. So you do eat cat? You eat cat, homie? Don't eat no dog, motherfucker. You can eat the cats. I don't give a fuck. Don't eat no dog, homie. Keith Smith, you finally back? You fat wobble body fuck. You finally back to being a member? Good to see you. Where you been at? Where you been at? Dialysis? You fat fuck? Where have you been? You ain't been around in the last 2 months, homie. Where you been? You fucking fat wobble. Anyway, let's dive into I want to dive into this Isaiah Thomas shit, Bailey, real quick. Because the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel, legend, will join us, and I got to ask him about this. I want to bring it up beforehand. If you guys don't know who Xavier McDaniel is, you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. So go check it out. Go do it. Go look it up. Go look up who the X-Man is. But Isaiah Thomas basically said that LeBron James is unprofessional for shooting pregame or you know, getting some shots up in with no shirt on. So take a look.
Second part of our doubleheader tonight, LeBron James going to play the game like this. Shirts and skins is what they're doing tonight.
I just totally 100% object to this. And if I was the GM or coach,
Me too.
I would never let one of my players walk out on the floor looking like this. I mean, we are a professional NBA league. We ain't summer league. We ain't, you know, at the YMCA.
Listen, I think coaches got to go back to suits.
I
just mean.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you something. I'm going to ask Bailey to find me something. I have never been an Isaiah Thomas fan. Not a big fan anyway. I loved his game. I thought he was ultra competitive. He played on the Pistons when they were the true bad boy era team. So I had nothing but respect because I thought that's what men did at that time. That's what the fucking professional leagues of all sports used to be. Gladiator. Even basketball was fucking gladiator-like. But let's make no mistake about it. Isaiah Thomas, for him to come out here, and I'm going to try not to be a hypocrite on this. I would be remiss not to bring up the fact that this man did some things that I've seen him do growing up like this. Are any of you in here old enough to remember when Isaiah did this? Choked his coach? Do any of you remember this? So listen, you know I'm not a LeBron guy. I think LaFlop is the most overrated big-time superstar right there with Patrick Mahomes in the history of sports. For you to call this man unprofessional for having no shirt on when you choke coaches during the game is a fucking mockery. You're a fucking joke, Isaiah, for saying this shit. Let's keep it funky. If you're going to come after LeBron, then don't forget what you did in your heydays. And then go kiss Magic Johnson, motherfucker. I'm not a fan. Never have been. I've never been a big fan. Plus, I was a Laker guy, so fuck Detroit. But at the same time, I love the nastiness of Detroit and the way that they played. But the hypocrisy of a lot of people out there, and we forget what we did. And then to say this cat's out here with no shirt is unprofessional. Fuck. What was choking your coach then? Cool? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure it out. Listen, I love the competitiveness, but I was choking the shit out of you, Isaiah Thomas. You put your hands around my neck. Just as if I would put my hands around a player's neck, you should be able to hit me. That's why coaches should never touch players and players should never touch coaches, just like boys and girls. I've never had a problem with a player. I've never put my hand on a player. I've never had a player put his hand on me. Have we had cussing out matches? Of course. That's what coaching is. But putting your hands on another player or coach is ridiculously across the line, and it should be fucking done with. So, at the end of the day, start none, won't be none. You put your hands on a fucking coach, Isaiah, and now you're fucking talking about LeBron, and he's unprofessional. Can't wait to ask the X-Man that question. Because I'm kind of shocked at this whole thing. So here we go. God damn. Chat, can you let Keith know what I just said and equate it to his comment here? Keith Smith said, for the audio listeners, didn't you put your hands on Jeff Sims? Can everybody talk about what I just said? And please understand. Let's have this conversation, Keith. Keith, you're not very smart, homie. You're just not a very smart human. Probably why your titties hit your kneecaps, because you just won't drink diet water. You just won't walk around the block. You just refuse to stop eating fucking cupcakes and cakes at night. What does two coaches fighting have to do with anything I just said, you fat fuck? What does two grown men fighting have to do with a player and a coach? Can you please answer the question, Keith? You fat fucking idiot. God damn. I'm glad we have real people in here that understand what the fuck's really going on. I'm glad that Lucy and everybody in here had to address it. Jeff Sims is not a player. Gorjan even said it. Sims was not JB's player, Keith Smith. You fucking idiot. Holy fuck, man. Sometimes, Keith, you just say shit that's just, it's just, you're a big troll. You got to stop being a troll, homie. And maybe we could have more, amicable conversations. But anyway, can't wait to talk to X about this thing. We got so much going on, man, in here. I want to go back to Nico real quick before X joins. And I want you to hear Josh Pate talk about this thing. Let's show it, Bailey, on what he said on his show.
A lot of the people who have been pushing for the changes that are happening in the sport, they would call them progress. I would call them just changes. A lot of the stuff they told you didn't have to worry about, a lot of the stuff they told you that wouldn't happen, it's funny how it keeps happening. These are the same people who would tell you players would never opt out of playoff games. If we had more playoff games and less meaningless bowl games, then players won't opt out of playoff games. That same crowd fails to mention that this past December, cats like Nico Iamaleava almost held out of playoff games because they were trying to renegotiate contracts in the middle of a playoff run. He wasn't the only one. But just understand, all these people who cannot take a piss without getting the front of their pants wet, that claim to know what's best for this sport and claim to be visionaries, and boy, they can type a lot of words per minute, can't they? They have not the slightest clue what's best for this sport. And so we've taken the stance on this show for the past several months that we'll just ignore them. I don't really care. I don't care if you label me anti-players' rights. I don't care. I am pro-college football.
Well, what's your take on that? I don't know. It's interesting, to say the least. Let me just tell you, it's interesting, to say the least, that this is where we are now in college sports, college athletics, period. But listen, man, I can't be happier to have a living legend, join the show here. Guy I grew up watching when basketball was played by fucking men that played it hard and the right way, in my opinion. Tab, the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel, NBA legend, joins the show. X-Man, I appreciate you joining, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How's it going, man? I was just talking to Matt Barnes about you when I was on his show a couple weeks ago, man. All the smoke and shit. We were talking about you, about the NBA, how it's falling off as far as the toughness. You kind of in agreement with that?
Yes, I'm in agreement with that. I think that you got guys making excess of $50-60 million, and the Joker's going to get a big contract this season, all season. So you got all these guys making a lot of money. So yes, a lot of the physicality as far as fighting is out, which, I mean, it shouldn't be no fighting anyhow. I mean, but we're people, and people going to get into disagreements. But
I just think that when you got a product and you're paying that product, you got to be able to protect that product as much as possible.
No doubt. That's what they're going to do. Just like quarterback play in the NFL, you can't really touch them anymore. They're getting paid so much money that, man, it's kind of getting, I guess, as fragile as we've ever seen because the money's so crazy. We were just talking about college, how it's going in college football. These kids leaving, opting out for more money in college now.
Right. Man.
The portal and the NIL money stuff. I just got to get your take on it real quick because college football, college basketball is becoming professional. Have we taken away the fabric of the sport when we're doing this? Like, have we lost the roots of this and chasing money is not teaching these youngsters how to develop tough skin, competitive. I mean, I just thought the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball was the absolute, that was where we wanted to go.
Right.
It seems like we're allowing college guys to get paid so much money that the NFL and the NBA is not the biggest thing anymore.
Right. It's going to be a bittersweet thing for me because, man, with the numbers I had, man, I would probably get about $10 million a year. I didn't want to have to go to the NBA. But let's just be honest. You wake up in the morning at 7:30. You go to school till about 11:30. You go have lunch. You come for basketball practice, 2 hours plus. Well, my college coach, we started at 2 and we end at 4, no matter what. Then you got hospital visits, school visits throughout the day that you go to throughout the time. You put in a lot of work and a lot of time. And not to be compensated a little bit. Maybe they're being compensated too much. But think about the European players. They're playing at 15, 16, and they're getting free housing. They're getting money. So why can't the American players do it? So to me, it's kind of bittersweet because it's bitter because I wasn't able to get that, and the way the NCAA is, the people don't realize when I was in school and a lot of these old heads, or we're old heads now. So after the game, these kids get fed after the game, right? Well, ask Cliff Livingston, ask any guy. Once our game was over, you had to feed yourself. So you didn't have an opportunity to go back into the cafeteria and eat because the cafeteria opened up from 4:30 to 6:30, something like that, 7 o'clock. So from 7 o'clock, you go to a game, you got a game and you play and you come home, you got to go feed yourself. So that means you're spending money.
No doubt. No doubt.
And so it's from that standpoint, these kids get to eat before the game, they get to eat after the game. It's just a lot more easier. They're on private flights. But they put in a lot of time and effort, man. I'm not mad they're getting the money. I'm just mad we wasn't getting it when we were playing, but that's okay too. But I mean, I don't see why people will be mad that these kids are earning a living. Now, if you're a college student, what are you doing? You go to school and you work. Unless you got some rich family that you're from, and you don't have to do that because 9 times out of 10, you're probably going back into the family business. This was a very successful business, So I don't understand the outlook. I just think that they should have capped it off with everybody. Football is the king, and then basketball, then women's basketball, and it trickles on down. And I think it should be based on the sport and what's coming in, because when you look at it, in 1985, 84, 85 season, I was coming through. We had this section because we had alphabets on our section, and so they had the X section, and the X section had jerseys. And you walk into the bookstore, they had these 34. I wasn't able to get compensated for none of that. So I'm not mad that the kids are getting compensated. It's just that I just think it's the amount of money that I think is what they said, the number one kid for BYU got $5 million coming out of high school. I mean, why would I worry about going to the NBA?
Does that affect your mental though? As far as like X coming, we coming up, we don't have shit. We're trying to make it to the league. That's our goal.
Right.
That's where we know the money is. Now the money could be right here in college without even suiting up yet. Like this Nico kid got $8 million leaving high school here in Cali to go out to Tennessee, and now he wants more money, so he's left. Is that like messing these kids' mentals up? Because they're 17, 18, 19. They don't even know how to change the oil in a car, and we giving them, Lambos. And I mean, I just think there's got to be, to your point, there's got to be some, because this ain't NIL. And my former teammate, Ed O'Bannon, is the one that started this whole thing.
Right.
And like, this ain't NIL, it's pay to play. And you just said it. They had a whole X section, and you didn't get a dime from it. This is what it should have been about: jersey sales. It should have been about, memorabilia, autographs. It ain't about that. It's pay to play. And these cats are hopping all over.
I just think that you got to find, the NCAA has been wrong in a lot of things they're doing. Like, for example, you talk to any old head. I never agreed that when you transfer, you should have to sit out a year. I think that the way they aligned the scholarship was a 1-year deal, renewable. They never said it. Then you start getting coaches to say, oh, it's a 4-year deal. That's how they was able to keep their scholarship when a coach told you. I was told it was a 1-year deal, renewable for every year. So if it's renewable every year, why can't I leave? Coaches can leave, but players can't leave. They made it difficult for the players because they knew the players were making the money. So they tried to keep them, at one university. When I just think that if coaches was able to lead, the players should have been able to lead. Maybe not go with that coach, but possibly go to another school. Because why did you go there? You go there because of those coaches, those assistant coaches, those head coaches. You get a relationship with them from the time they start recruiting you. You only visit the players for one weekend if you're not from that city. Now, if you're like, for me, for South Carolina, someone who knew Zam Fredericks and a lot of the guys who played on that South Carolina team, that's different. But when you're going, and like I went to Memphis State, I had been dealing with the coaching staff for Memphis State for 4 or 5 months. You get the idea of sense that, hey, these guys like me and this and this, and you start having a relationship with them. And so when they leave, why shouldn't you be able to leave? I just think the NCAA, it's been all about making money for the NCAA and not for the kids.
No doubt. And that's interesting you brought it up, because I've been harping on the coach and the player are two different people. I mean, coach has been doing it, let's say 20, 30, 40 years. They should be able to get a better job if it's a more high paying job.
Right.
And the player 17 to 21, he's got to like earn his stripes, so to speak, in my opinion, as player and coach perspective. But here's the thing, coaches, at least now, I didn't know about when you were back at Wichita State or not, but at least now they got to pay a lot of that money back if they do leave and take another job. We saw the kid at Maryland take
they weren't doing that back then. I mean, think about it. Rick Pitino done been damn near Rick Pitino done damn near been to every school in the NCAA.
So you're right. That's interesting. You brought up the scholarship thing, because I do remember signing scholarships, and they were year to year. They were actually
year to year. You had to sign your scholarship every year. You still got to do that, but you'll get a coach in now and say, "I got you a 4-year ride." But when I was coming through, they told us it was 1 year renewable. So, I mean, let's think about this right here. And me and my wife talked about it a couple of times. And one of the big things was, okay, I'm an athlete. I'm a freshman. And we just talked about all the things that I did. I done went 4 years. I got my degree. But what I didn't get, I can't even find a damn job. Why? Regular students are able to do internships. Athletes are not able to do that. You got weight training. You got community service you got to do.
Study hall.
You got study hall. You got school. You got so many things you got to do. And also try to have a social life.
And we couldn't get a job at the time.
Right. So I know a lot of guys that got their degrees, and, the NCAA did not help them get a job afterwards. because it's so many things to do. And I think that's been another thing too. So these, regular students are able to make money. They may not make a lot of money to be doing internships, but they are able to make some type of income to pay for housing. Once you finish your 4 years up, they give you last game, family come out. They tell you, hey, he's graduating in May, and not one booster offer him a job.
Hell no. Yeah.
And so a lot of this falls back, and this is a part of the NCAA, is I don't know how to correct it. It may not never be corrected, but guys who get degrees in business and they can't get a job because they haven't had any they haven't done no internship or with nobody to be able to say, hey, I'm qualified to do this. You just got a piece of paper saying you can do it.
And nowadays, the kids getting so much money, I'm worried for these babies that they're going to go from a lot of them are playing at 4 schools in 4 years. Where's their degree coming from, and what tie do they have to that alumni or poster?
Because they're not getting degrees.
No.
I'll be very surprised is Haley Van Lith has a degree from TCU. She done played at Baylor, TCU. She done played at like 4 schools, Louisville, TCU, and Baylor, 3 schools, I think it is. Oh, and LSU. Not Baylor, but LSU. She went from Louisville to LSU and then LSU to TCU. So she played at 3 schools, and you got some a guy, he was from Washington State. He played at South Carolina, Wichita State, Washington, and he played somewhere else. God, what this kid name? But it's some kids that are doing that. Kids are not getting degrees. They're chasing the bag. And in our society, what we want to talk about all the time is the bag. All on YouTube, the bag. Hustle Cartel, the rappers. Everybody's showing the amount of money that they have created. And the kids are following right along with it. Now the problem is, I'm waiting on the IRS to start hitting some of them in the head because they're not putting that money away. And we hadn't seen that yet, but it usually take a few years for it to start coming up.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad Dion and them type of guys like that are teaching this financial literacy. I know Eddie George started doing it. A friend of mine who's coaching now D1 football, and he's starting to do the financial literacy because he handled a lot of NBA's people's money and shit, and it's like important. These young cats, I'm just hoping they don't fumble the bag once they do have the bag. Let me ask you something about your college days before we dive into this NBA stuff. Before you get out of here, I appreciate you coming, brother. I got to ask you, when you were at Wichita State, obviously they had football at one point, then they got rid of it. They didn't have it, and I'm surprised they never had football again. I thought they had They had a nice stadium right there on campus. Yeah. I coached in Kansas for so long that I've heard all the stories, and I know the president was trying to, Koch brothers or whatever, were trying to get football back, the 2 billionaires there in Wichita, and it never came back.
Right.
In the NIL era right now, without a football team playing at the college, the money you would have got, Xavier McDaniel having your X section and all that shit with no competition in football, would have been crazy, right? You would have made tens of millions of dollars.
Well, yeah, but unfortunate, I made 0. So I know a lot of people always say this and that about Wichita State. Oh, y'all got put on probation and this and that, but a lot of that stuff happened before myself and Antoine and Cliff were there. A lot of those things happened in the 70s, and they went way back. I think most of the allegations were when I was in like the 7th grade.
After the plane crash, right? After the plane crash and everything.
Well, that was the probation I'm talking about. The plane crash was in the 70s too.
Yeah,
but they still brought the program back. Coach Willie Jeffries got it back, but then some things happened, and then Coach Childress, I think that was his name, was my junior year. I think that was the last year, my junior year, the 83-84 season. I don't think we had it our 84-85 season, my last year. But whatever it was, we were on some probation type stuff and for football, and once it was gone, I think they talked about it for a minute. but it costs a lot of money to have a football team.
No
So
doubt.
a lot of money. And you're talking about starting over as a. I think if they would have did, they should have started off like an NAIA and kind of worked their way up over the years and had like maybe a 20-year thing to be able to get back to being a Division I football team.
Nah, no doubt. I wish they had it, man. I do. Let me ask you, man, about the current state. You, I think, were the 4th pick overall, the Seattle Supersonics. Do you think Seattle will ever bring it back? Bring a team back? Are they going to expand? Vegas, maybe Seattle. I don't know, but do the Seattle Supersonics deserve to have a team still or not?
Yes, they deserve to have a team. Ain't no doubt about that. Just got an article from a friend from Seattle, and Gary was talking about it. Be very surprised if Seattle. What other team in the United States would have one outside of Seattle, outside of Vegas? We know Vegas gonna get it because you got the football team there, you got the baseball team there. So we know Vegas getting one. I think Seattle would be that team. The fan base is just so strong that they would get one. Unfortunately, GP didn't even talk about. He talked about. I was his teammate too, but I hear him talk about a lot of guys. But you know, I'm original Sonic too. Wasn't traded there or anything. He was like, "Oh, Della," and I love Della. Della's a good friend of mine. But it's some other guys that helped made that organization to where it's at. I wish that it get a team. I'm hoping that they get a team and bring back a lot of the guys that helped make that franchise so good.
No doubt. I've been seeing all these different folks from that team get on podcasts and talk about the league and the current status and your era versus their era. And I saw Draymond Green and Baron Davis. They do a show and they were starting to talk. They were talking about the respect factor. And Baron was like, Draymond, you tripping. You got to respect the people that came before you. They paved the way for what you are now making in this league. And Draymond's like, well, respect is earned, and I don't respect you if you don't respect me, blah, blah, blah. Where are you at with the current state of the NBA as far as we know what the load management and all this other shit has happened in the NBA, but where are you at with the eras? Like, is there even a discussion? Can you even talk about, you know, the Dennis Rodmans of the world playing when you guys played with Shaun Kemp and all that? I saw Shaun Kemp go on Matt Barnes and he was talking about, man, Rodman beat us, not Jordan. And I don't know if you're ever going to say Draymond beat us, not Steph Curry. I think it's a different era.
Well, it's definitely a different era. In the mid 80s, and I played to the late 90s, the game was very, very physical. When you come to
I think you might have got a call, Bailey. See if we get him back. He probably got a phone call. Yeah. Interesting to hear what he has to say about the generations. Listen, man. I know. Yeah, Draymond would. Here we go, Bailey. You there?
Can you hear me?
Yep, got you. Probably got a call or something, huh? You hear me? He probably got to reset his phone. There we go. Yep, got you. You hear me? Uh-oh. Trying to get him back in. Appreciate everybody in here right now. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, so you know, I don't know, the phone ring and it just
technology with me. I'm the same.
So you know, my era, the game was physical. You had some tough guys that playing. I mean, really tough guys. And do I really like the fighting? I'm gonna say no, but that was just the era that I came through. You had to fight for everything. You know, you get a swollen ankle, you played on that swollen ankle. And today, kids, what I've heard, I don't know. I would have to talk with one of them. If they got a sprain, they categorize it 1, 2, 3, or 4. and they don't even play to their 100%. I didn't have many swollen ankles, had a bunch of bad knee problems after I got hurt. But, I mean, I like these guys. So I don't know where Draymond get it from. I like these guys. I think they're fantastic basketball players. You know, I'm trying to understand their terminology of basketball, like our terminology of basketball. They're bigger, they're stronger, they jump as high. You know, everybody jumps in today's game. Everybody wasn't like that, you know, when I played. I mean, you had some jumpers, you know, some Roy Hensons, people don't remember back in the day. It's a lot of great players that got injured and kind of fell off and stuff for whatever reason. But I don't think Draymond understands that people going to just take that side. But I don't take a side. My thing is being that whatever era you played in, you can play in any era. Because what's the greatest thing about people? Put them on an island with nothing. They will adapt. That's the greatest thing about people. They will adapt. You don't have to know nothing about living on an island, but if you want to survive, you will adapt. And so it's the same way with NBA. If you put Wilt Chamberlain in any era, it's going to still be Wilt. I mean, things have changed. You know, when I was coming through, they would label you as being soft because you're not playing through injuries. And then they'll trade you off. Today, guys get hurt, and they don't even come back until they're 100%. When I hurt my knee, I played on a torn meniscus, a torn cartilage under my kneecap, and tore some other cartilages on the side of the knee. And I played from January all the way until we lost to the Denver Nuggets in the playoff. That's why I walk around here with a limp. And when you see a lot of the old guys, we all walk like we've been in the military fighting wars. So I can understand where the older guys coming from, but I don't think nobody disrespect these guys. I mean, I'm happy because I tell people all the time, when I got traded from Seattle, I wouldn't sign the contract that Seattle offered me. They offered me $3.2 million. And I didn't take it because I knew Jerome Curtis had just signed for the exact amount. And I didn't want to be, I felt like my value was more than him at that time. So I go to Phoenix. They offered me a contract. I didn't sign it because they tried to lowball me. Jerry Colangelo tried to do it without David Falk. Then I go to New York. And I'm still betting on myself. But these guys controlled the players back then. They try to control them. And so what I like about these kids is KD is controlling everything he wants to do. A lot of these guys, they're doing a lot of things that they want to do, and the teams don't deal it. They ask to be traded. Before you get that stigma like what I did, and then all of a sudden now you go from playing 35 minutes a game. You look at Phoenix, I was at 29 minutes. New York, 28. Boston, 28. So they could control you a lot better. And what were you going to do? I had ML told me one time, and I wanted to kick his ass because he told me, if you don't stop talking, I'll ruin your career. And I have never liked him since then. I can't be in the same room with him. I can't even say what I would do because I don't want to come off a certain way because I'm 61, about to be 62 in
Man,
2 months.
you look good, brother. Let me tell you.
You know, so I mean, it's a situation where, you know, I think guys respect them. They may not think so, but I think because guys got their opinion. I think you gotta, just like you got your opinion, you always hear these guys talking about, well, I got a platform. I mean, technically, I don't give a shit about your platform. If you can play, you can play. It don't matter what era you can play. You know, I think we all got to get off that because I know when I came in the league and I was getting $750,000 a year, don't you think the older guys were talking crap about me? I just went out and played my game and did what I had to do.
Yeah.
And when someone challenged me, I stood up to them.
No
Simple
doubt.
as that.
Let me ask you something before you get out of here. LeBron James, the legacy that he has, the longevity that he's played. Shaq came out and said some things, and he was like, "Man, I think this is catering to his favor because of the league and the style and how it's become more soft than when you guys played." Is Shaq right or wrong as far as him being able to play this long and being this good this long, or is he just a specimen and he is who he is?
It could be all above. He could be.
He got a call again. See if he comes back to wrap it up. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. First of all, the chat. I don't know. Some of you motherfuckers kill me, dog. Like, let's have a grown man conversation. Let's bring him back. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it could be both ways. I mean, think about it. The physicality is there. I'm watching the game and I'm watching college and I'm sitting there like, man, we be talking about the physicality. Man, the college is physical. The pros is physical. It's just that they just shoot a lot more jump shots. But when they do go to the hole, it's kind of physical. So, I mean, it's also luck that he's never had a serious injury. Like me, I never missed a game in high school. I never missed one in college. I didn't miss one until Olin Polynice fell on my leg when I was with the Supersonics and we were playing the Jazz during the 87-88 season. He fell on my leg, and that's how I got hurt. Up until then, I had never missed a game. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where, missed a game because of injury. I should say it because I think I missed one game in college, but I was eligible to play. But I think I missed one in college. I got a DNP my freshman year. But other than that, it's some luck. It could be, I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I hear he spends a lot of money on his body. So I don't know. But, I mean, to play 22 years, you see Kareem played 21 years. Vince Carter played 20. So, I mean, it's some things that can happen, you know, and there's a lot of it got to be luck. But, I mean, I respect these guys, and I think that a lot of times people look at the money and what they did and stuff, and we just go back and forth. You're going to have some people. I just think Draymond needs to relax and understand that he could play in the 80s. He could play. Now, one thing about the 80s, he wasn't going to be doing all that talking. He's going to have to throw them hands. You're going to talk. You're going to have to throw them hands once or twice. I mean, I mean, that's just the way it was in the 80s. You're going to throw them hands.
When Draymond was young and Ron Artest pressed his ass, shit, and that was he was still young. So I'm like, it would have been way worse when you guys, you and all the Knicks teams, shit.
Yeah.
Let me ask something real quick. What would you tell this youngster, man, John Morant, if you could give him a piece of advice?
Well, you know he's from my hometown, my home state.
I know.
He grew up from my neighborhood to where he's from is about 35 minutes. It's in Sumter County, and I'm in Richland County. But I grew up going towards Sumter. So you get in a car, you could be in Sumter County within 30 minutes.
Hell
right?
Yeah, a lot of talent, boy. A lot of talent. I recruited.
I mean, I'm like a lot of guys. You got to blame that on T. His daddy got to be able to sit down with his son and tell him, "Hey, you can't do that stuff." But T is trying to be on TV too and trying to be a superstar. Yeah. And I like Ja. He's a fantastic player, but I mean, it got to come, you know, with the parents telling him to cut down some of the antics. But you know, when you that big provider for your family, then it's hard. He wasn't like my daddy. You don't want to know what some of the things my daddy would say. You know, I mean, people don't realize most men like my dad was a man's man. I'd be like, I don't need shit from you. Just take care of your fucking mama. I got a job. I got 2 motherfucking jobs. That's what he always tell. If you talk to anybody that know my dad, he'll tell you. Never took probably anything from me. I gave him a truck one time, and he finally said, "Thank you." That's about the only thing I gave him. I didn't get that shit to your mama. I don't need shit from you. So, but he's all on front row. You don't never see the mother.
No.
But you see the father all the time, man. I just think that you need to sit him down.
And all kinds of
You want to be like Usher and stuff.
Look like him, motherfucker. He looks just like him.
Yeah,
Shit,
but
he had a porn star there the other day. I'm like, damn, dog, what's going on? Yeah, I try to say it, man. I said there's a difference between a father and a daddy. I said this cat want to just be the homie. It's something's
he
up.
want to be his friend. He wants to
Yeah.
be his friend.
No
And
shit.
unfortunate, man. And I don't know T. I mean, my family, my dad's from South Carolina, but I don't know him. I never met him. But I think that's where it's got to start with, because, you know, we can get some people around us and to influence us the wrong way. And he needs to get a control of that, because, I mean, keep getting suspended the way he's getting suspended and doing some of the things he's doing in some of the lawsuits is berserk. But, you know, hey, that's his family. So, I mean, who am I? I'm just a 61-year-old man that formerly played in the NBA.
Hey, man, you're a legend, brother. I appreciate you coming on here, man, and it was fun to watch you play back in the day, man, and get yours and do some great things on some great teams. So it's a pleasure to have you on. I got to hopefully get you on again. Anything you got going nowadays?
No. I'm just I'm not in South Carolina right now. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. Hey, I love South Carolina. I tell people all the time, when I recruited it in football for years, per capita, the most talent-rich area in the country. And
I've been saying that. I've been saying that for 40 years. And I've been saying it for 40 years. And the recruiters start coming. My high school teammate Tyrone Corbin and myself, I think we put them on the map. Nobody from the Big Ten came there recruiting until a guy named James Hildebrand that played with me and Ty in high school. I always called him the Godfather. He the one that brought the recruiters in, and me and Tyrone took it to another level. And now you got Kentucky, Villanova. I mean, you got everybody in the country coming down there. And Zion took it to another level with his high flying dunks.
No doubt. Hopefully he gets back right. Shit.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, man, I appreciate you, brother. Good luck. Stay healthy, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thank you. Anytime.
All right, peace.
All right.
Xavier McDaniel, the X-Man, man. It was fun to watch him play growing up. He was a legend. Still is a legend. Shit. Not was. Shout out to X for popping up on here with us, man. Shout out to everybody that popped in here today, man. And for everybody to join the show today. It's been a real one. And hopefully you can get over your feelings. And the truth is the truth. It is what it is. I got to be real with some of you guys in here, man, in this chat. I don't think you realize, like, he's a guest. Like, you want me to talk over a guest. Like, understand something. You can say what you want about me, and you can have your opinion about me. The fact of the matter is, I understand protocols just as if I were to coach today, and all you out here think, JB off the chain, and he just says anything. Understand something. Respect is still there. I always will have respect for whoever is on the show. And I don't understand what you fucks don't understand about that. Like, I really don't get it. I understand protocol, just so we're clear. Real quick, so you have an update. Tomorrow, we have Hall of Fame legend Drew Pearson, wide receiver, Dallas Cowboys, who was snubbed for a while there and made it known. He was pretty pissed off about it. He'll be on tomorrow. And we got a loaded lineup all week long, by the way. We got loaded lineups all week long. Wish I could see some of these guys. I don't have the whole lineup in front of me, but we got a lot of NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball guys joining the show. So all week long. So stay tuned. But we will have a lot of people on here today. So appreciate it. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for Talk That Talk Tuesday. Steve Kim joins us. Drew Pearson, legendary NFL legend, Hall of Famer. And Bailey, the prime sexuals are not happy with me. Let's show it. We'll end the show that way. Show it real quick. Prime sexual. Why are the prime sexuals mad at me? Why are they mad at me over what my thumbnail says today? I'm curious. I just saw it. Bailey just showed it to me. We're going to show it to you guys right now real quick. It's unbelievable. I'm about to go at it with prime sexuals again now. God damn. Unbelievable. Apparently, they're upset that I have coward written on the thumbnail. Well, fuck. Cry me a river. Not the prime sexuals. Mad about, did this kid play at Colorado or something? I don't see how people watch The Real Coach JB. And then it has their live, and then you should see the comments. Who's Buff Boy, Bailey? Who the fuck's this fuck? Who's fucking Buff Boy? God damn. Anyway, shout out to Shaun King, T's and P's. Smitty will be back tomorrow. And it's been a great Monday. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. Tell somebody it's the realest show on planet Earth. And whether it's the truth or whoever just says it, bottom line is the truth, no matter who tells it. Buff Boy. We'll see you tomorrow for Talk That Talk Tuesday. Pound that like. Peace.